Right, we are live. Welcome to the VFL live watch along for the Big Footy Tigercast on this Saturday afternoon. And we are again on TAJ HOTTON watch, as it turns out. So, yeah, TAJ HOTTON lacing up for his second AFL game, or VFL game, should I say, and what will be very, very exciting to watch. So, we are here to watch along today. So, make sure if you've got any TAJ comments, thoughts, or predictions on what he might do, send it through in the chat. I've got my prediction. I've got TAJ HOTTON down for 18 disposals and 1 goal. So I'm just looking. I'm posting some of these links. Always nice having the VFL on one day and the AFL on a different day, thank goodness. Where's my VFL stream gone? Oh, there we go, warming up on the ground. Noel, how are you, mate? What's going on? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well and looking forward to a hopefully a very good VFL game. Now, in theory, we should do okay in this game score-wise. I would hate to put the Moz on the team really early, but I mean, across the park, we should be a bit more talented than the Bullants you would like to think. Jones Racing, how are you, mate? TAJ 37-6. God damn, I'll be mightily impressed if he does that. I am all for that prediction. I am all for that. Now, hopefully, what do you reckon we're going to see from TAJ? Do we think, in terms of, we'll talk about, I suppose, minutes played and whatnot. He obviously played a half last week across 3 quarters, so very, very limited game time. Do we think we'll see 3 quarters and like a bit more prominent game time today, are we hoping? No, you reckon TAJ for a full game? Had they said it all? Had they kind of said anything one way or another? I don't really remember hearing or seeing anything. I would love for that to be the case, though. That would be very nice if it was a full game for TAJ. But wherever you're listening, make sure you share the link of this live show into any of the Richmond Facebook groups you're in or on Twitter, wherever it might be. Let's try and fill up the chat with as many Richmond supporters as possible as we watch along the VFL and enjoy the wonderful work of TAJ HOTTON. Obviously got Sims back in the VFL as well, which is, look, I think a good move. I don't think it's a reflection on Sims long-term by any stretch. I really do think it's a lot more to do with balance in our AFL side. And the fact that Liam Fawcett, I believe, is out with was it a sore foot or something like that, it kind of then made sense again for another forward to drop back, with McKelty obviously playing AFL level on the weekend, which is awesome. But yeah, make sure you give it a share with whatever groups you're in. We'll try and fill the chat full of Tiger fans. Morris Jr. is another one who we're going to be keeping a close eye on today as well. Look, he had a bit of a lower number possession number-wise last week, but his pressure game was still really, really good. And the write-up from Jake Batchelor was really interesting. It was very positive and complimentary, which I agree with. I thought he actually played a really good game, so I was actually quite happy to see that. So hopefully he can take this to another level. Because it'd be nice for Morris to assert himself a bit more in the midfield. Widescreen. Oh, you're there, are you, mate? Nice, 200 people at the moment. So you're our eyes on the ground there. We might throw to you for some boundary rider type action there, widescreen. Noel, you've heard that to play most of the game. John, welcome, mate. You've gone 20 possessions and 1 goal for TAJ. I like it. Won't be begrudging that whatsoever. Is TAJ starting on the ground? Can we see? Lockie Streets won the toss and elected to bat. What will be interesting as well is to see if TAJ does get any centre bounce midfield minutes as well. I think will be another interesting one to keep an eye out for. So we've got Morris starting in the guts, which is really good. All four Morris starting in the midfield. So I've got my timer ready to go as well. If your game's already started, feel free to hit pause so you can sync up. The umpire's about to bounce the ball on my screen in 3, 2, 1, and we are underway. Quarter 1. Hayes Brown in the ruck. We've got Morris in the middle. G'day, tell what? When's TAJ going to play AFL? I really hope it's I hope it's next week, if I'm being honest. Lady Hawk Taj is number 24. You can see him there. He's got white boots on, 24 in the forward pocket as Jacob Bauer escorts the ball over line. Milk, welcome. But, I mean, there's a lot of people flagging they would have loved to see Taj play AFL this week. I could have really understood the temptation from Uze's perspective because you could just tell he's clearly a level above VFL, even from the very limited minutes he had last week. And so could we have just managed his minutes like we do with Kane McAuliffe? But I get the smart options to get him another VFL game and get some fitness and things like that. But it'd be fascinating to see what he can do today. Yeah, YouTube lag's a killer, Dabber. I don't really think there's any way of fixing it. Oh, as the ball slips through, Hayes Brown's taken a mark, but it's bobbled out. Well, it must have been touched, I guess. It was called play on. Yeah, I don't know there's a way to fix the YouTube lag. I really don't know. It's annoying, but... Oh, Hayes Brown takes it out the ruck and hits the post for the first score of the day. Richmond behind. No, it sounds like we could have a full list to pick from. I know, and that's why I did that YouTube video recently about the best 22 for round 19 or 20 for the AFL, because I really think it's going to be quite fascinating because there's going to be a lot more players to pick from. Oh, Taj slipped over right at the... Oh, he's got a free kick. He was dealt with unfairly. Taj HOTTON lining up with a set shot. Well, we know he's going to get at least one disposal here. Can he get his first goal in Richmond colours? I'm not even sure what the free kick was for, but I mean, part of my prediction was one goal, so let's go, Taj. The white boots, he's got a bit of muscle in him now, which we like. Taj HOTTON, the great white hope, strolling into goal, 47 metres out. Oh, he's pushed it to the left for one behind. Carried the distance easy enough. Oh, the young fellow with a nice little disposal from behind the goals there. Dud to list, good. I like that, Davo. Well played. Brandon's gone HOTTON 30 and 3. I'm liking these predictions. There was close, Declan, as Razzo intercept marks. But yeah, in rounds 19 or 20, so we're going to have Lawler's going to be available around then. HOTTON is... Oh, I thought he was flying for a mark then. I reckon he need a bloke in the ribs. HOTTON's going to be, I think, well and truly in contention for selection around 19 or 20. Josh Smiley will be in contention, I think, for round 20, maybe more so than 19. As the ball's bobbling around the forward 50, Taj has escaped with it. Gets a handball out to Razzo. That was nice. Oh, shocking kick by Razzo, though. Just, look, maybe I'm getting carried away, but just that footy IQ in that pack of players to pick the ball up, get out of it, and handball to a player in a better position, it's pretty good. I know, widescreen. He is a... You can just tell when a player's above a level, can't you? Nah, Skoodush, Taj is still 24. Still 24. It's just maybe better camera quality this week. It's no blurry vision, even though we're not at Marvel. But yeah, then we got Harry. How good was that? Did anyone see the photo of Harry Armstrong, or photos of Harry Armstrong that the club posted from the training report? He's looking a big boy in the upper body. He looks like to have put on some serious muscle in the arm and shoulder region, which is very exciting. Taj getting in the thick of it early. Up and around stoppages now as well. Gets that clearance or handball first possession away. Free kick. Geez, we're getting free kicks inside 50 today, folks. This is uncharted territory. Yeah, Declan, it looks like... I mean, he hasn't started in the middle yet. I mean, there hasn't been another goal, but he's definitely doing some work up and around stoppages. And it was mentioned last week, you can just even tell a player's awareness and positioning, like, his footy IQ is good. And that is so important these days. That's a great goal. Who was that? Was that Lockie Street? Lockie Wilson. Good goal. That's a tough kick from there. First goal on the board for the Tigers. The ball has lived in our front half. And Taj is on his merry way. HOTTON already on 3 disposals. Already had a clearance as well. The Bullants, I think, are in the bottom 2 or 3, Skadoosh. So this is why, I said at the start that I feel like we should do okay in this game, matchup-wise. Declan, seeing him play, fully understand why so many had him top of the draft class. 100%. And, I guess everyone was kind of working off limited vision because he only played the 3 Coates games. But even his year before and his APS highlights as well for his school, he was just a freak. The amount of good reports that come out about him, it's no wonder. As Morris shoves him off, handballs over to Taj. Taj sidesteps. Oh, not a bad... Oh, Morris follows up. Oh, Morris Rioli. That's good. I didn't even see him in the play there. Great follow-up play. Taj with a nice little pass over the top. Just got a fingertip on it, the Bullants. But Morris has done some great gut running there from the middle and scored a goal. This is why I keep banging on about Morris spending time in the midfield AFL level. Could work and be a good thing. You want to see that more consistently, I get it. But you can't tell me that's not going to make our midfield different with the speed, getting forward of the contest. Because of his work rate and speed, we had an extra number where the ball was instantaneously that we don't get at AFL level currently. Phonics, welcome. Yeah, Saturday's going good so far. On the board, why wouldn't they have recalled that? Anyway, we're on the board with a couple of goals early. As the Bullants go forward for the first time. Trezise, nice little handball. Oh, that wasn't a great handball though. Who was that? He was 55. Lockie Street. Excellent bit of play there from Morris earlier. How do we all feel about McKelty and Jacob Blight in the side this week for AFL level? I feel like it's one of our better looking sides for the year. I know some people will say it's a bit top heavy, but you got to remember that Adelaide have got 3 genuine big, dangerous forwards. And I think they're one of the only teams to pose that threat. So I actually don't mind having the 3 big guys in to cater for that. I think it's smart coaching, to be honest. And you got the luxury that Blight and to a lesser extent Bolter can go and play at other parts of the ground too if needed. But I think you got to pay respect to Thilthorpe, Walker, and Fogarty, and I think we've done that. Agreed, Declan. Normally I would say we were too tall, but I really do think Adelaide is the exception to the rule with posing 3 genuine big forward targets. So I'm okay. And Blight's no slouch. He's no slouch at all, so I'm okay with it. Can we have these umps tomorrow, James Racing? Yeah, sign them up. We're getting free kicks inside forward 50. Give Morris another month in the role and be playing ones in midfield. I hope so, widescreen. Wouldn't you love to see Morris get some AFL midfield time by the end of the season if he keeps performing at the level at VFL? As he handballs to Taj. Taj releases a handball in the middle. If Morris can keep having good performances, I would love to see him get an AFL game in the midfield just to see how much of it translates. I agree, Declan. I'm actually truly excited about the Taj and Morris connection. Speedsters lighting it up. G'day, Jake. How are the Tiger Army? How do you think Blight and Bolt will go on the same back line? I don't mind it, Jake. We're just saying that it seems completely necessary and warranted because of the height of the Adelaide forwards. But the beauty is that Blight can go on ruck. He can play forward. We've got a 2-on-1 inside 50 here. Big Sims takes a mark. Dim Sims. Lovely. I'm excited to see what the side looks like. The actual player I'm most excited to see tomorrow is McKelty Lafau. Now, I don't know if many of you saw the video, but if you look on our YouTube page, I put a video up of some forward analysis of McKelty in the VFL before the game last week against the Doggies. And the front half pressure he applies is 1,000 times what Lynch can do. And that's not a shot at Lynch. Lynch is a bit older, can't do that running anymore. It's fine, I get it. But with Lafau playing tomorrow, I want to see him as our deepest forward so he can do all the chasing and harassing and tackling. Tom Sims comes in and kicks a goal. Lovely. Good kick in from Bauer. Good finish by Sims. And I know I've been saying for a little while that I've wanted to see one of Fall or Sims dropped. That sounds really harsh, but it's just for team balance at AFL level. But it's also because they can go back to VFL level and get on the end of a few goals. Because as much as they're doing, like Sims and Fall, as much as they're doing some really good hard work at AFL level, they're not really getting reward for their effort in sense of goals. And that can maybe strip some confidence off you, or you might feel like you're missing out. Whereas if they can go back to the VFL for a game or two and kick 3 or 4 goals in it for a couple of games, you start to feel better about yourself again and get your mojo back. So that's why I'm not against it, especially when they're so young. As Sims is now in the ruck at the centre bounce, yeah, you want to see him just get reward for his effort. I know it's a very cliche comment, but it's so true. Nice for comments, Michelle. Agree. Yeah, Erosk, agree. If he can kick 5, that'd be amazing. Love that. Someone asked before. Yes, Dave, Sims and Smith in the VFL. Yeah. I did see that, Jake, the Seth Campbell video. Jeez, he's a character, isn't he? I mean this nicely, but you just know that he's that really annoying teammate that just pesters everyone in a really funny and jovial way the whole time. Like Tom Lynch, he couldn't understand why someone would give that man a microphone. It was very amusing. It was very funny to watch. He probably played it up a little bit too, knowing that he was mic'd up. But no, it was good. It was good to see. Funnily enough, one of the takeaways I actually had from that Seth Campbell video, the big thing I took away from it was how much of an outward personality Sam Lawler is. Like him dancing and singing to The Gambler and doing some, I don't know, nightclub dance moves to whatever other song they were playing. I probably kind of didn't expect him to be. I thought he was going to be a bit more reserved. I liked it though. I thought it was good to see that side of the players. But yeah, I just found that was a really interesting part, to be honest. Did not mind it. TAJ HOTTON up to 5 disposals, 1 clearance, Lockie Street 5, Austin Johnson 6. I'll tell you what, that Austin Johnson, I don't know a lot about him, but he seems to be at the pointy end of our disposal winners most weeks. Great tackle. Oh, Cozzy, good pick up. Handball, well, maybe it'll work. Similar to Shorty, yeah. The Bullants have got worse method than us at AFL level going inside 50. That's saying something. Sims pushing up the ground here. We love to see it. Oh, shit kick though. He's picked out the one Bullant player between 2 Tigers. Would you believe? Jake, I mean, my pick would be McIntosh to be sub. If we have a look at who's named on the bench, it doesn't make sense for Lafau or Blight to be sub. I think that would actually be counterproductive to the reason why you would include him in the first place. So that leaves Sonzi and McIntosh if you're just to take from the bench players, which is usually where it comes from. Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised that Sonzi was subbed off last week. I thought he was starting to do really well up until that point. I mean, in my opinion, there was far worse players on the ground than Sonzi last week at the point in time where he got subbed. It was the Bullants get their first goal with my impeccable timing criticising their 450 entries. So yeah, if it was me, I would have Camden as sub. I think he's the most versatile player out of that group and can play, whether we need to replace a midfielder, a winger, even a half-back he could play. He can even play forward, honestly, if we had to. I think it's... And Elga, surely they're not doing Jasper Elga 2 weeks in a row. Agree, Jake. We need to see what Jasper Elga can do from the start when the game's on the line and it's a meaningful contest. Putting him in, I respect that they didn't drop him because it would have been an easy out to drop him last week. Not because he played bad, but because he didn't have the opportunity to perform or do anything because the game was done by the time he even set foot on the field. So as long as they play him from the start, I'll then appreciate that they're giving him the proper opportunity. But that's how it should have been from the start, I guess. But I think him being a bit of a late inclusion didn't help. Oh, good chase, Morris. That's got to be dropping the ball. That's the pressure you want from your midfield. Lovely, Morris Jr. Lovely. Oh, yeah, watch your kicks there. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Kicking off one step because he was called to play on for some reason. Cozzy dancing in a phone box. Not really sure Morris actually played on there, to be honest, but he is, Ash. He's definitely getting better by the week. He's up to 4 disposals, 3 tackles, 3 clearances already, which is really, really good. And I think what I've been most pleased with for Morris the last couple of weeks since he's been doing the midfield stuff, he's actually been staying in the game for longer. Whereas playing as a small forward, I think he just fades out of games too easily. Geez, that could have almost been 50, couldn't it? Al Noor back with a flight of the ball. Well, we're doing okay at the moment. Have I got the score right? 20-7. Have I at least? I do. Yeah, very good. But yeah, next week is going to be even more interesting with Sammy Lawler being available. I mean, look, personally, I wouldn't have been against him playing some VFL today. And I know that's not going to be the popular opinion. And I know you can do a training load. This ground's not that bad. I mean, if it was Beaconsfield, categorically no. But I don't know. Part of me just wanted to see Hotton and Lawler running around the midfield together would have been a little bit exciting. I get why they didn't, though. Like, I truly understand why they didn't put him in for this game. I just thought they could, if they wanted to get more run in the legs, they could have just managed his minutes like they had done with Smiley and McAuliffe and things like that. But look, either way, we're going to see Lawler next week, you would think, and then that causes another selection dilemma. Lovely mark there. The Bullants look to have sort of composed themselves a bit here, and they've stifled our ball movement a little bit. If you are watching and you're at the game and you're in camera shot, give us a wave in the crowd. Yeah, it does look like Razzo has been playing. Oh, good mark. Been playing a bit higher as well, which I don't mind because, again, small forward roles are so difficult to play. And I feel like him adding more strings to his bow as a wingman or a midfielder is only going to elevate his chances of getting picked up. I still don't know if he's the right fit for us, though. Purely just because of the players we've already got in a similar position. Oh, he doesn't look sure of himself here. Greystoke, Morris Jr. was great against the Suns. Watched the replay this morning. Strange he hasn't been able to repeat that game. As in the AFL or VFL? I actually can't remember the AFL game. Like, I know he won. I just can't remember the happenings of within the game. It's just hard to be consistent at AFL level, I guess, especially as a small forward or a half forward. It's one of the hardest positions to play. I think he's definitely found it a bit easier to be a bit more involved and consistent in the midfield as Jacob Bauer gets shoved over. "19 minutes gone in the first quarter. Time for the first poll, though. Oh, hang on. We're about to kick a goal here. Did he squeeze it in? He did. Good goal. Good goal. Oh. Now we're giving a free kick out the middle. Do we still get the goal, though? The goal stands. Oh, my gosh. First poll jumping into chat is, will Jacob Blight play defence or forward tomorrow? I feel like the obvious answer is defence, but there could be an element of people that want to see him up forward for a little bit. Or maybe I should have put both. Maybe he's going to play at both ends of the field. So feel free to get your votes in. I just think it gives us a bit of flexibility, doesn't it? Oh, Cozzy, did he push him? Oh, he's paid the push. And 50 for dissent. How many times a week do you reckon do you see players throwing their arms around at umpires and nothing's ever paid? Cozzy gets stung for it. That's really unlucky, to be honest. Not sure that would be... Yeah, that's exactly what that is, Declan. That is a power trip. You see far worse happen at all levels that's not ever paid. That's a bit of a weak one, to be honest. Honestly, you watch the games of AFL today, and I promise you'll see worse than that not paid. Unless it's now the rule of the week. Could be a flavour of the week thing. As we're in the 21-minute mark of the first quarter. Papley torched. Did he really? That doesn't surprise me that he torched an umpire last night. I saw he got stuck into Sam Darcy before the bounce. I mean, on the surface, not a bad strategy. Obviously didn't work because as Bauer comes flying out, good contested ball there. As the Bulldogs obviously got the job done. But Papley's always going to be like that, isn't he? Just that real pain in the ass player. That's the type of player I see Campbell and Elgar being. Just that player that you love having on your team, that you don't like playing against if you're the opposition. Street with a nice little sidestep. No, spoiled through for a behind. Umpire's main character syndrome. That's a good line. I like that. Main character. I haven't heard that one before. That's very good. Oh, geez, he's pulled in the one-hander there. Get your votes in on Jacob Blight if you haven't already. Hawk Tim, welcome. This is the first time since round 3, 2024, we're playing Bolter, Lafau and Lynch. Is that right? There we go. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense in a lot of ways, doesn't it? Because Lynch missed a lot of football last year, didn't he? And Lafau was the main forward for so long. So yeah, that's, I suppose, not surprising in a lot of ways. And, we've all spoken about it, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how Lafau goes as the second forward and not playing as the main forward, because he had to shoulder the load of the forward line by himself a lot last year. And in really, really difficult circumstances too, when players had checked out. I mean, our skills haven't been good for a couple of years in that regard, I suppose. But I thought he did a really serviceable job as the main forward. So to now see him have a chance to be the number 2 forward and get a bit of a lesser opponent, if you want to call it that, I think it's going to do his football the world of good, and I'm really actually looking forward to seeing what unfolds from that. That's right. It's just it becomes a flavour of the month, Grey Stoke, when they first introduce it, and then it disappears and becomes grey, like you said. It's remarkable how it happens with a lot of rules. Jones Racing with doozy time incoming. What is more of a pain going forward? Oh, sorry. What is in for more pain going forward? Uze's door or Carlton? I mean, Uze's door is going to take a fair bashing from players knocking it down, trying to get into the senior side, isn't it? But Carlton are in a world of hurt. Let's be honest. They are imploding before our very eyes. There's in-house fighting. The board aren't on the same page. They're all being a bit corporate and selfish, and that's to the point of Carlton supporters saying that, not even us. The players have not really buying in. Voss is in the world of hurt. It's the graffitiing the joint. It's all happening down there. It's all happening. Phonics has got a question. What year did everyone start supporting the club? Good question. For him and his partner, in the AFL round 1 2023. So after an okay year, all I've known has dropped off. So I mean, I was born into supporting Richmond, so I'll flag it as 1987, as the Bullants kicking out of the behinds. But yeah, I think on my membership says it's, a 38-year member. 38-year member. Taj. Oh, he dropped the mark though. Good handball. You might get the 1-2 here. Yep. Taps it. Fends him off. Oh, sidestep. Bit of a goose step. Left foot inside 50. No one there though. It got into space at least. Oh, Razzo trying to weave in and out. Taj loves a bit of a cheeky sidestep. Since 1968 for Chris Gray. Nice. 2016 for Hawk Tim. Carlton are doing the heavy lifting for... Oh, they are. I think their fans are slowly starting to realise that that's happening. It's actually a shame that the decision doesn't need to be made this year in a lot of ways. Taj was 10 in 2016. Jesus. Oh, good smother, Tyler Young. Well done. Well done. Lafau may break more ribs than we kick goals. It's a fair point, Greystoke. We'll end the poll. 69% have gone for Blight in defence, 30% forward. I think that makes the most sense. I think that's a good shout, people. Good shout. Yeah, Dale, Taj looks good. He looks good. Again, you can just already see he's one of those players that's a level above. I mean, the sidestepping, the little deft shove-offs, he probably dropped a mark that he should have taken there, centering the ball, just does the basics at a really high level. There's Taj again. Little look-away handball. Gets it back. The ruckman is absolutely gassed behind him and cannot chase anybody. Kano going well. Thanks, mate. Yourself? How you been? Oh, Razzo. Oh, sidesteps. Give it to HOTTON. Where is he? No, he's a bit further back. Damn. We probably should have been able to generate a shot on goal there, not going to lie. That seemed a bit... We messed around with that a bit. 27 minutes gone. Get it in there. Surely big Dim Sims can chuck his hands up in the air here. But no one wanted the ball. It's just on the deck, fellas. Pick it up. Good tackle. Oh, okay. Free kick. Right. I didn't think that was there. Anyway. Jeez. Unlucky. Ash, born in 1992. Favourite game being Together as a Family in 2027 prelim. To this day, my favourite game, the atmosphere. That was the GWS prelim, wasn't it? That... I agree. In terms of atmosphere, you'll honestly never have anything like that replicated ever again. To have 95,000 supporters at the game, and at least 80 of them were Richmond supporters, at least. It was just hair on the back of the neck type stuff, wasn't it? It was incredible. And when we got that first goal, when Dusty gave it to Kane Lambert, he ran into the goal square and just launched it. It was an unbelievable noise. And that's why sometimes the prelims people say are like the People's Grand Final, if that makes sense. That was a great... Even the Geelong qualifying final in 2017 was pretty good too. For me, that was the moment that I'm like, shit, we got actually half a chance to take it all out here. I know that's an early call in the first final. We just looked so different in so many ways. It was very exhilarating. Sonzi, I'll do a sub poll. That's a good idea, Hawkton. We'll do a sub poll. Voss, I mean, do you feel sorry for him? It's a really tricky one, isn't it? Because how much of it is his own doing? Are the players not buying into... look, the Blues obviously thought they were further ahead than what they were. Last year, they play finals. This year, everyone's talking about them being top four and premiership contenders and things like that. And then we What I would love to know is how much of what we did in round one dented their confidence for the rest of the season, because that was not expected. It could be all our fault. Who knows? But look, from a completely selfish perspective, the longer they keep Voss around and the more turmoil this creates, the greater chance we have of Cody Walker saying, I don't want any part of this. I might go to the Tigers. So, look, and I don't deny that the father-son pool is definitely very real and probably has the Blues ahead, maybe 70% to 30%. But yeah, it's still alive, folks. It's still alive. And what I love that it come out in the media finally, that it backs up everything I had said, that it's alive based on the source that we had. So it's going to be an interesting next few months leading into 2026. Forgot what year it was. Paul Lee says, Dan Rioli was stagnating as a small forward, so they turned him into an elite running half-back. Could they try that with Morris? I mean, they could, but I'm kind of enjoying seeing him as a midfielder. I think they've done the reinventing part, but instead of a half-back, as a mid. He's shown some great signs. We'll go through the stats quickly. Does it come as any surprise that TAJ HOTTON is the leading disposal getter for us with 9 touches in his second game of football? 9 disposals, 1 behind, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 3 kicks, 6 handballs. Harry Scott, 7 disposals. Austin Johnson, 7 disposals. Trezise, 7. Lockie Street, 7. 6. What am I reading? 7 for? 6s. Razzo, 6. That's actually really good from Razzo. That's a really improved output from previous weeks. Tyler Young, 5. Lockie Wilson, 5. Morris, 4. But Morris has had 3 tackles and 3 clearances as well, which is really good to see too. Hotton leading possession on the ground, widescreen. Taj just glides across the ground, says Shane, agree. He looks very silky. Giants sold 15, is that right? 1,500 tickets for that prelim. Jesus, yeah, the noise was crazy, Shane. Kano, whose spot is Taj taking if he comes? I'll say when he comes in. It's a really good question, Kane. If I'm having to take a punt, as much as I've obviously been a big advocate for Sonsi playing, I'm saying Sonsi purely because, again, similar to the Elgar argument, that Taj can play the half-forward role properly. Like, he knows what he's doing at the half-forward area and then can push up the ground. And I just think he might be able to do it better or read the play better than Sonsi. I'm not sure. That seems like the only way it might go now that Smith's already out of the side. I don't see who else they might drop. It's a really good... There's going to be some selection headaches in the coming weeks, though, Kane. It's going to be crazy. Exactly right, Jones Racing. It was the way we dismantled Geelong that night that made me like, oh, okay, we're up and about here. We're up and about. Camden McIntosh, yeah, that could be a good shout too, potentially. Benjamin dropped in. How are you, mates? Taj is looking very, very good, my friend. Got a good bit of sidestep and lateral movement going on. Finds his targets. Unlucky not to kick a goal with his set shot. Grey State Chris, watch the latest My Blue Heaven. Oh, okay, I'll have to check that out, yes. Could Bolts... Lou, I understand the thought process, but I would not be using Bolter as trade bait. Only because we've obviously shown a bit of commitment there. I know he had a stinker last week, and I'm looking for him to rebound tomorrow. It makes more sense that Blight would be the one, only because he's from WA, so there could be some go-home factor as well. And obviously West Coast have lost McGovern and Barras, so it's, yeah. Unfortunately, because we've got 7 or 8 key position defenders, we're ultimately going to lose one of them or 2 of them at some point in time. And yeah, if it gives us a chance to have a crack at a Harley Reid, I think you've got to explore it. But yeah, I think reality is we will lose one of them, but I don't think it'll be Bolter. Hawk Tim, if it was me, I would 1,000% debut him next week. But I'm probably impatient. Widescreen, Carlton don't have the leaders. They do, and like a lot of their better players are on the older side and are about to wrap it all up, so it's going to be interesting. Stephen, I think Fall should have played in this game. Preston, no wins, 39%. Possibly. I mean, you could have flipped a coin, Stephen, with Sims or Fall. I think they made the right call with one of them coming back to VFL. If you were to compare Fall and Sims last week, I think Fall did outperform Sims, and that's probably the great reason why he stayed in. And obviously Lafau can do some ruck work, as can Blight to support Nank. But yeah, I I think they made the right call dropping one of them. I think tomorrow, so my theory all along has been if we have another mature body with Lynch and just one of Fall or Sims, that we should be able to be more competitive in the air. We should be able to bring the ball to ground more. And instead of the opposition marking half of our forward entries, we should be able to bring our smalls into the game a bit better. So I'm really, really hoping we see that tomorrow, because it should hopefully give us a chance to get into the game for a bit longer. If we have the same issues again tomorrow, where the opposition's marking everything, then something bigger could be happening at play. It just seemed like it was the obvious thing to do on the surface. TAJ is my man. Hawk Team claiming him. Well, Paul, I mean, I agree that they haven't played anyone in the midfield, but then they dropped that article saying on the club website saying that they're going to be playing different people in the back half of the year, on the back of Seth sneaking in for a couple of centre bounces off his own accord. So I really hope we do see it mixed up. And I would, if Morris keeps doing okay at VFL level, you'd love to see him do it at AFL level for a game or two at the end. Noel, if Walker wants to join the Tigers, how does that work, seeing we only have picks 2 and 3? It'd be for next year. So it's for next year, Noel. So we'd have to use our first pick for 2026. And I don't know what else we might need, but I'm sure we'd find a way to acquire some picks to get him in. Damien, how exciting is it going to be with Hotton, Lawler and Smiley playing the same team? I know. I still reckon round 19 or 20 we're a good chance to see all three at the same time. It's going to be exciting. Leather Pants ready for Taj's first goal. Patience is a virtue. Tonti been putting so much effort in. No, he has. And it's the small things as well, Thomas, isn't it? I mean, we know he's obviously good at his competing in the air. He's not clunking him just yet, but you look at that Ed Richards chase down tackle as well. That was pretty good anticipation, and really liked seeing that as well. That has to be deliberate out of bounds. Yeah, I was going to say, Jesus. Yeah, we'll have to trade some future picks. Scruffy, the leather pants is just a bit of a gag we've had on the Monday Night Live show that's, if things are getting a little bit hot and heavy and exciting when talking about the prospect of these youngsters playing, you just get your tight leather pants on and enjoy the ride. Or a bathrobe, whichever you prefer. Just a Monday Night Live little gag there. I'll do the poll in a second. Between Sims and Fall, who needed to kick bigger bags of goals. Yeah, I mean, they could both probably do with some confidence. And Sims has already kicked one today. You'd love to see him kick another one or two just to really make it worth his while, I guess. Rogue, you're barracking for the Bullants today. What are you doing? No, they're your old VFA team. Won't barrack against them for the sake of Richmond seconds. Fair enough. I can respect that. I can respect the heritage. That's a great kick. What a goal. That is not an easy shot to execute. Harry Scott, take a bow. That was very good. What's Cozzy gone from Shane? That's it, Kano. Morris's dad was a midfielder. So it's kind of, this will sound really cliche, but it's in his DNA, isn't it? He probably does need to get a touch fitter, Peter, but this is why it's good him doing this at VFL level, because it kind of automatically is making him fitter, isn't it? I've forgotten to start the clock. How good am I going? And the quarter. Jesus. I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there. Back in the centre we go. Oh, Hayes Brown with a little bit of a shove off and a swooping handball that did not hit the target at all. All right, we'll chuck in another poll. This is going to be about who's going to be sub tomorrow. I don't know how many options I can put here, but we'll have a go. I'll put the guys on the bench. Oh, I can only do them. Damn. I'll leave it as those four. I won't include Alga because I really don't think we'll do it to him twice. I could be wrong. It only let me give 4 options though. Otherwise, I would have given his 5 or 6. But yeah, just so you know. Oh, Sims flies for a mark. Was Hotton in the middle. I looked away for half a second and I've missed it. John, now talking about the 25 draft. If only we had 3 picks in last year's draft, I would go for more kids in 25 with 8 picks. Oh, Sims could have been held there. Jeez. He was all over him. Who's down? Good pick up, Tyler Young. That wasn't a tackle. You can't be yelling out ball for that. He just hit it out of his hand. Chris with Cozzy Pickett and Liam Ryan jumping into the centre for a burst of power and speed. You can see how there's a similar role for Morris Jr. I 100% agree, Chris. And it's funny you mentioned those 2 players because that was when we played against West Coast, and I think Melbourne did this a few weeks before we played them. But you're spot on. You could see the genuine impact and power that they put into the midfield. And I think Liam Ryan doing it against us was the first time he'd done that for a little while or at all. And he was a whole different prospect in there. And I really like seeing him in the midfield. So TAJ just not picking up the ball to give it back. So I agree. And, we've been talking as a fan base for months about how slow our midfield is. If Morris can execute the role correctly, that adds some much needed speed. And then, TAJ will do that as well. Fall, he's more 40, definitely is. Yeah, Paul Hayes-Brown's actually been really good this game. Marley likes Hayes-Brown as well. Will he make it? It's such a hard question with Ruckman. We've got Samson Ryan not playing at the moment because of the plantar fasciitis. So if we think about it in the sense of if Nank went down tomorrow, touch wood, then Hayes-Brown's next in. And I think he's still very young for a Ruckman. I think he's doing a lot of really, really nice things, though. He's definitely showing a lot more promise than what Kalina obviously did. His kicking action's a bit awkward and gangly, but he's a big man, right? Isn't he sort of plus 205 centimeters? Is he closer to 210? I'm not sure. But he's getting some first use and getting a lot of clearances as well. So I'm more than prepared to keep sticking with him to see if we can make this work. Cameron, welcome. Standout is TAJ HOTTON at the moment. He was leading disposal getter on the ground at quarter time with 9. Morris doing okay as well. Oh, geez, that's unlucky. He got jumped on from all angles there. Shane, what Morris needs is some composure. Yeah, true. All of our mids could do with some composure, to be honest. They could all do with it. Widescreen, if Walker picks us, surely we try and trade next year's first. Yeah, possibly. There'll be a number of things we can try and do to offset all of that. Bauer and Cozzy won't be. They will. Well, Cozzy's contracted, so he will definitely be in the black and yellow next year unless he retires because he's contracted to do so. Bauer, I think, is a genuine risk of either being traded or delisted just because of the sheer amount of other forwards we've got. But no, Cozzy will still be there. And I'm happy for that too because I really... Oh, what's happened here? Free kick down the ground. I really respect and appreciate what Cozzy's doing for our defenders. It's a very thankless role as Morris gets a free kick down the ground. John Flores can move everything in. Yeah, look, we won't get to coning. We're just not going to pay the money that's going to be... How's that not in the back against Hayes-Brown? But the money that St Kilda are throwing around for the coning is absurd. And then didn't they... I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they were considering offering Matt Rao $2 million a year as well before he re-signed too. So it's just like they're desperately trying to make themselves relevant and make themselves a destination club. But yeah, so they're going to pay... or proposed to pay some big, big dollars for Tom de Koning. And if that if that comes off, the pressure then becomes pretty big on de Koning to be, I mean, he's going to perform, right? He's a good player. But it just amplifies the pressure, I guess, on him playing for another club if it comes off. It wasn't a great kick from Tyler Young, was it? And they've dribbled a goal home. Ugly, ugly kick there from Tyler. No, I mean, respectfully to Cozzy Shane, I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. The only other one of our defenders that's got currency, like I'm removing Bolter from the conversation and removing Miller because we won't trade him. Blight's the next best one that's actually got value and of interest to anybody, I think. I don't think anyone would trade for Cozzy, bless his work that he does for us. But I actually like what he does for us at this level. Taj is going well, Bendigo. Taj is going well. He was leading disposal getter on the ground at quarter time, so I think he's still on 9. He's had 1 tackle, 1 clearance. Yeah, smooth mover. Smooth mover. I think he's off the ground currently. What a boy in a suit. I see that in the background. Scruffy, who goes out for Gibcus when he's ready for AFL? Wonderful question. It's... Oh, Morris, good tackle. Why isn't that dropping the ball? Jeez, that shits me. Oh, pick it up. Good tackle. Razzo. Goal. Massimo Razzo. Should have been a free kick to Morris for the pressure in the middle of the ground. What were we talking about? I can't remember. Gibcus. Who's going to go out for Gibcus? I don't know. So, in the team that I put out for the video I made for the round 19 to round 20 side, which I factored in Josh Gibcus playing, I actually had him in for Nathan Broad's spot, but I didn't drop Broady. I just put Broady on the bench. I can't remember who I ended up dropping overall, though. But it's going to be really, really interesting to see what we do in that space. And I know he's not going to play AFL straight away. Like, he's going to have to do some VFL games. I get that. But I would fully expect him to play AFL in at least rounds 21, 22, 23, or 24. I would be shocked if he doesn't. And you know what? I know I'm not traditionally a big fan of... Oh, Bow, good grab. Of gifting games. But if Gibcus's form just half resembles good form, I would truly be in favour of playing him in the AFL purely from his own mental health and well-being, just so he can believe that he can do it. That might be the wrong thing to do on some levels, but I still think overall the benefit he would get from believing in himself playing at AFL level, again, just before the season wraps up, would give him some super drive and motivation heading into the following year. I think he'll earn it anyway. Truthfully, I think Gibcus will come in to the VFL and he'll earn his own spot pretty quickly. That's a bad miss, that. Bad miss. Widescreen, I think Saints will pull the offer last minute. You reckon? I mean, it's a bit of a win-win either way, isn't it, in a lot of ways, widescreen? Because it's been so publicly spoken about de Koning essentially questioning, well, is Carlton going to be any better? And if nothing else, it's driving up his price. So that's a win too. Melbourne, yeah, they might ask the question about Blight. I mean, they dropped Lever this week, didn't they? Which was interesting. I think, I mean, I sort of get what you're saying widescreen about Blight not having currency. I think he does. I just think the currency could obviously explode if he plays the next 4 or 5 weeks. But he definitely has value. It's more of a potential-based talk, isn't it? I'm not sure how that sits with clubs, to be honest. But from a needs perspective, he actually fits a West Coast need and want, a key defender, because they've lost 2 of them in 2 years. So it's maybe that weighs in a bit more. Oh, Taj is taking a mark inside 50. Great little delivery there. Not sure who that was who passed it. But Taj, the lead up forward, can do it all. This is what I mean about if he was to play in Sonzi's role in AFL level as a half forward, he knows what he's doing as a half forward. Like, I can't picture a world where Sonzi would lead up at the ball carrier like that inside 50. And that's not a slight at Sonzi. He's just not that footy IQ way inclined. Come on, Taj. Get your first goal, son, for the Tigers. Comes in for the set shot. That looks like it's missed. Oh, he's kicked two behinds, Taj. What are you doing? We're trying to get around you. Jesus. No, he's exciting, though. I shouldn't talk down to Taj, should we? Benjamin, no, I haven't heard anything else about Bolter wanting out. At the same time, I've not asked anyone either, but we can definitely ask some questions and see what happens there. Oh, that's out in the fall. That's ugly. Gibcus needs to be in the side. He's a star. I agree with you, Skadoosh. Agree. ADJ, welcome. Put Bolter on the wing. Gibson Miller, KPD. What am I doing? It's a really interesting one with Bolter, isn't it? Because people suggesting he can play the wing, I think they're right. I think he can. I think he can play forward as well. I know we've seen that, and not many people have liked it. The one thing I'll say is, though, and it might seem like I'm making excuses, but I really do believe that the times we were seeing Bolter play forward for us were at a time where we were at one of our lower points in terms of skills development. We were well off the boil. He didn't have the right people around him up forward. I think it might be a different prospect as Taj just wanders down to the back line to get a handball. I think Bolter up forward in a better functioning side might be a different prospect than what it was when we saw him do it initially. I do also acknowledge that when he's playing his best football, it probably is as a defender. So I'm mindful of that too. But to the overall point, the reality is that Ben Miller's not getting dropped. Okay, he's undoubtedly, I would say, our best defender at this moment in time. Bolter's not getting dropped because he would be equal to or not far behind Miller in terms of being one of our best defenders. And when Josh Gibcus is back in the side, which we think will be sooner rather than later, he will not be dropped either. So we do have to find a way to fit all three of them in. And I'm not sure if it will all be in the one part of the ground or not. And maybe it depends on who we're playing week to week. So there's definitely maybe some creativity having to be done to fit them in. So that's why I do like some of your wing suggestions, folks. CJ says TDK is simply not that good. Or I can't agree with that. TDK is a pretty good player. He would be every team's, maybe except Melbourne and not many others, he would be most teams' number one ruckman in a heartbeat. Agile, gets across the ground well, can kick goals. I mean, would I pay the amount of money that St Kilda are wanting to pay? I don't know, maybe not. But he's definitely a good player. The only reason why St Kilda wouldn't need him is if Rowan Marshall was no longer of any use to them. I think it would be interesting to see how they operate that with Marshall and TDK in the same side. But yeah, I think TDK is a gun. I think we have to give him that. He's a good player. I hope you're wrong, Skudoosh. I don't want Taj to kick a shitload of points. You don't want the pressure to build. It's not an ideal start, though, is it? Widescreen, Taj is very good at finding creases in the defence. He is. And I keep saying the word, but footy IQ with Taj, off the charts. Scruffy, that Richo Brownlow year on the wing, how good was it? I mean, I know a lot of Richmond supporters, we all knew that Richo was having a good year on the wing. I don't think any of us thought it was entering Brownlow territory, but then on the night, it was one of those, it was an amazing night, and he was really unlucky to not win it, to be honest. What's the score with the D's and the Suns there, Paul? Peter says, I would like to see Bauer do more of the flying for marks on the side. Oh, from the side? Yes. From the side, yes. I don't like seeing him try and sit on everyone's head for mark of the year every time. I think he's actually reined that in, to be honest. That's a little iffy kick from Trezise. Look, in my opinion, Bauer is definitely up against it in terms of getting back into the AFL side. And he's got to just keep doing the basics well and find a way to impact the game and hit the scoreboard. But when you look at Fall, Sims, Armstrong, they're probably already going to be viewed as ahead of him. And then you got Fawcett, who he's competing with as well. It's a tough gig. And if we're being really, really fair and reasonable, Bauer started the year in the side, in the ones. So he was given first crack and had his chances to cement his spot and to show his worth. And it's hard because we probably aren't operating at a really high level to maybe help our key forwards, and I definitely acknowledge that. But I just don't think he did enough at senior level to say, shit, you know what, he could bash the door down again. Morris with a nice little mark in defence as well. Oh, rocket of a handball. Yeah, I don't reckon too many. I mean, Scottish, I'll put my hand up and say that I would have, if we weren't playing Adelaide this week, who've got three big forwards. If we were playing a team that had your run of the mill two big key forwards, I would have 1,000% dropped Bolter for Blight, just because his attitude, and he was not mentally in the game last week, and I don't think we should reward or stand for that. But the fact they've got three big forwards, it's acceptable to keep him in because we need to show respect to the opposition. But I mean, look, I get Bolt has got a bit on his plate, but that's his own fault. He needs to work through that. He needs to step up and show us that he's winning back our trust and all that kind of stuff. And I'll be looking squarely at him for a better response this week. Make no doubt about it. Hope so, Hawk Tim. I reckon we'll see TAJ very soon. Salih, welcome. Just joined. Hotton's going well. So the two behinds he got, they were gettable. They were set shots, but he's got, at quarter time, he was leading disposal getter on the ground with 9. He's up to 11 now. 11 touches, 1 mark, 1 tackle, 1 clearance. A lot of really good sidestep maneuvers in traffic, extracting the ball really well, smart running into different leading patterns. No, he's played, I disagree, Tig Time. His Sydney game was equally as shit. He's played 2 bad games in a row, in my opinion. And honestly, if you're going to let Sam Darcy run like that and your head's not in the game, don't play. Get someone else in who will play. And I really hope he does turn it around this week, because when he's on, he's a very good player and a very handy player and makes our backline look substantially different. But we can't have him half in, half out. He's got to be all in. Yeah, Bolter could run in the midfield. And there's even been people suggest that maybe McKelty runs in the midfield as well, as TAJ just bursts through the middle. I'll give it back to TAJ. What are we doing? No, it's fair enough. Go Street. He's going to kick this from 50. Oh, no, he's going to handball. Razzo on the left. That looked really unco, and it come off that way. Really unco. That's a good call, Rogue. That TDK is a bit of a victim of Carlton's current circumstances. I think that's a fair shout. 21 minutes gone in the second quarter here. D's got it back to 18 points down, back out to 25. Okay. Widescreen. TD, Tom DeCunning, 7th best ruck. At best, gone. Yeah, Jerry ahead. Yep. Jackson. I would say he's probably on par with Jackson. Jackson's probably more damaging forward, though. Cameron English, Grundy, Marshall. I think he's a bit of a victim of the Carlton shiteness at the moment. He's a good. We would all love him at our club. We would absolutely love him at our club. But anyway, St Kilda are the ones who are wanting to pay big coin for him. So either way, it doesn't matter who the player is. 1.2 million a year, or whatever it is a big amount, no matter who it is. So you'd want to obviously make sure it's worth your while. Jesus, just kicking it to a 2-on-1 sitting on his head, not a great option there, I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, Bolter midfield, don't mind it. TAJ being tagged now. Kids play 2 games getting tagged. Love to see it. May loves TAJ as well. Tig-Time Bolter should be second ruck. I mean, Tig-Time, I can definitely see that happening as well. And TAJ is number 24. Yeah, with Bolter playing second ruck, I think he might have done it a few times earlier on in his career, and I really liked it because earlier in his career, I felt that he would do better when he was around the ball and in the contest more. And it's how do I say this nicely? I don't think Bolter has a great football IQ. He's a very athletically gifted player, very strong, a long kick of the ball, but I don't think he's got great footy IQ. So when it comes to reading play and reading cues and making decisions, not a great strength. But if he's second rucking and he's kind of just doing it on the fly and off the cuff, I think that is where he could be of more benefit because he's playing off. He's just playing off vibes and off. Oh, good mark. Just off the cuff. And I think he would be a better player for that, to be honest. So I wouldn't be against seeing Bolter do second ruck duties either. I think there's two or three. That's a shocking kick inside 50. There's definitely two or three extra positions Bolter could play for us that I think could suit his temperament and game style. 100% tick time. He's a C-ball get ball. I think he plays best when he's just playing like that, not having to worry too much. But I guess it comes down to who we're playing against as well and what their key forwards are like. Like you don't want to be too disrespectful to the opposition key forwards, but where possible, wouldn't be against him. Oh, hang on. TAJ he's been held. That's a shithouse kick. Well, maybe it worked out from the Bullant player. TAJ is playing what we feel like is close to a full game. It might be more 3/4. That's surely out of bounds. Razzo dropped off since mid-season draft. He probably hasn't got in amongst it the same way he did previously. You're probably right there, Greystoke. Hayes Brown's actually doing a really good job. Hayes Brown's had 14 disposals, 15 hit out, 6 clearances. He is smashing him, to put it politely. Oh, he's got another one there, another clearance. Who would I want to draft this year's draft? So widescreen, if I was taking our 2 picks in the draft this year, assuming that we don't trade them for another player, I would be drafting, my 2 preferences currently right now would be Josh Lindsay to be a exquisite ball user off halfback who can probably eventually become another midfielder or a winger or maybe stays at halfback. And at one point in time, I do remember I did say that I thought picking a halfback could be a reach at one of those picks. But the more I thought about it and the more I've seen play, the more I kind of appreciate and realise that a good halfback is really mandatory at AFL level. And it's something Sam Banks is getting there. I think he's going to get very close to it. But having him paired with Josh Lindsay as 2 good ball users, I think would be a smart thing to do. And the second player I would draft is Hibbins Hargreaves from the Stingrays. I think he's a bit of a TAJ HOTTON 2.0. Very springy, accelerates well, can kick. I think kicked 4 goals the other day, 2 in one of the champs games. A very, very tricky matchup, and I think he would be another good speedy addition that would do well for us long term. TAJ HOTTON is on 13 disposals, 1 mark, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 2 behinds, unfortunately, kicked 2 points from set shots, but he's been very good again today, showing extremely good footy IQ and playing above the level. Could Bolter rational? Yeah, he definitely could. He definitely could. And this is the thing, when Gibcus comes into the side, when we've got Gibcus, Miller and Bolter available, something may have to give at some point for one of those players to shift into a different position. Yeah, Grill's looked good in Coates League games. I haven't seen a lot that I've liked of him at champs level, though, which for me is a bit of a concern. Granted, though, that in one of the games he was played off half-back for whatever reason. I think he had about 2 kicks and the rest were handballs. So he wasn't really displaying the foot skills. He's got good speed. I just think that Hargreaves can be a bit more of a game winner, breaking game open better than what Grill can. But I can see arguments for why you would pick Grill as well. Like, I'm definitely not saying that mine's right and everyone else is wrong. There's definitely multiple ways that could all look. And Grill may do some better stuff in the remaining games as well, which is always a possibility. Yeah, Skipper, you're right. It's like he's just shifting the other ruckman ever so slightly, grabbing it and then getting a clearance himself. The combine is always a good thing to have a look at. So I don't know what the numbers are, but they do a pre-season combine as well. So I'd love to know what some of these guys got there too. But for me, a big telltale sign for me is how well a player does in the champs, because they're playing with and against the best of the best. At Coates League level, you're playing against good players, but there's still a bit of a shift in the talent across the pool of players. And it's definitely easier to stand out at Coates League than it is in the champs. So if you can stand out at the champs, I think that says a lot more about your game. And that's why I've been so happy with what Louis Callaway's done. And I'm not at all suggesting that Louis Callaway is going to be first round or anything like that. He's probably going to, I think he'll be late second, early third at this stage. But he's racked up good numbers every champs game. He just doesn't have that elite weapon that the other players have. He just does a lot of things really well at a really good level, but doesn't have a wow, holy shit, he's an exceptional kick or exceptional speed, or he's quick. He finds the ball well. But I made a post about this the other day, that I kind of feel like that some people watch Louis Callaway's highlights or they watch under 18 highlights and they expect everybody who plays to be an A++ player. But that's not the reality. You're never going to get that. You need good foot soldiers in every good side. And if you watch all of South Australia's games so far, Dyson Sharp, obviously a gun, but Louis Callaway has given Sharp an extra 8 to 10 disposals per game on the outside, because he's good enough to find the ball on the inside, calm and composed enough to give it out to the person in the better position on the outside. That's a good foot soldier who does the right thing and can actually bring other teammates into the game to utilize their weapons. So he's actually understanding of different skill levels and limitations between players and getting it to the guy who can use it better. And I think that could be handy to have for us in the future. And he might not get bid on to really late, and I'll happily take him for a lot cheaper than what he might be, and what he could be. But yeah, I'm excited about the prospect of Callaway, to be honest. I'm excited. Yeah, if you had slotted those two, Skadoosh, would have been good. Yeah, Damien, we did have some strong interest in Cadman for a couple of years. From Grock and Tiggs, it sounds like that subsided a little bit. You'd love for it to fire back up, but I guess the problem is when you've got Armstrong, Fall, Sims, how do you then cater for Cadman as well? Like, I know Lynch is going to finish up in a year or two, but my hunch is that McKelty's going to then play that key forward role once Lynch finishes up, until the other guys are ready to do it in their own. I just don't know how we would fit Cadman in without robbing some of the other key forwards in the future, would be my only thing. But yeah, good player though. Good player. Agree. Green could be sub, possibly. The standard of this reserves game is horrible. I think that's a little bit more of a reflection of where the Bullants are at, Peter. They're not travelling too well, to be honest. So it's not really a surprise that that's how it visually comes across. You're exactly right, Shane. And like, I'm not trying to take away from Sharp at all, because he's a gun in his own right. But Callaway single-handedly gives him an extra, 7 to 10 disposals per game on the outside, so he can use it well, which benefits South Australia, benefits Sharp, and Callaway probably then doesn't get the credit he deserves for making that all happen. And every team needs those players. Like I said, not every draftee is going to be an A+++ Dustin Martin type player. You're going to get your good foot soldiers who are good at a lot of things, but not excellent at one, and that's where Louis fits. But I think he's still got a role to play for sure. Preston won, yeah, is that right? 8 out of the last 75 games. God damn. The Tap had a foot issue, Skadoosh. I'm not sure what the exact issue was, but it was a foot issue. Danny, welcome. Reckon Bolter is not in the right state of mind and either should be out of footy until this band finishes. Well, it definitely didn't seem like it was last week, did he? And tomorrow, I think it's fair to say that a lot of eyes will be on him to see what his mindset and how he applies himself is, because it did not look great last week. It was a poor display visually, and it really undid the back line a little bit. So we'll be looking for a response. And I think he's got to respond. And he probably does have a lot on his mind, but it's his own fault that he's got a lot on his mind, and he needs to deal with that either by putting his hand up and saying, don't pick me, I don't think I'm right to go, or by rising above it and showing us why we should be showing faith in him still. Yep, Dim Sim has got a goal. So we'll go through the stats quickly because it's half time. Lockie Street, 14 disposals, 4 tackles, 2 clearances. Caleb Smith, 14 disposals. That's a nice little return so far at VFL level, 5 marks. Hayes Brown, third biggest disposal getter, 14 touches, 1 mark, 1 tackle, 16 hit outs, 6 clearances. He is dominating his opposition ruckman. TAJ HOTTON, 13 touches, 1 mark, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 2 behinds. Unfortunately, missed a couple of goals. Harry Scott, 12 touches. Lockie Wilson, 12 touches. Trezise, 10 disposals. 1 mark, 1 clearance. Razzo, 8 disposals, 1 goal. Tyler Young on 7. Morris on 7. He's got 1 goal. It was a great goal as well, actually. Morris is actually up to 6 tackles already as well at half time, which is good. 3 clearances. Again, he's not having a big disposal game, but he's having an impactful game. I'd love to see him still hit 15 to 20 touches, though. That would be nice. Bauer, 4 touches, 1 mark. Yeah, Tom Sims, 1 goal, 3 disposals, 3 marks, 2 hitouts. So it'd be great if he can kick another goal or 2. So that's the stats for the VFL. Back to the comments. Callaway looks to be a fantastic role player, B+ ceiling, integral for premierships. Agree, 100%. Like I said, not everyone's going to be an A pluser, but you do need a fair quantity of your B pluses who can feed your A guys to help them out. So I think it's a no-brainer. Not sure how long Fawcett's out for. I don't think they've really said what the timeline is, so I'm a little bit unsure on that, to be honest, unless anyone's heard through various sources. I can try and find out. Other teams have used Preston as a percentage booster. I mean, yeah, it's just a good time to get your systems right too, I guess. Yeah, Hayes Brown has looked better. I mean, look, Hayes Brown is doing really well in the ruck with a ruck tap and things like that. I would still argue that neither Hayes Brown or Ryan show elite or strong signs from a marking around the ground perspective. Hayes Brown probably definitely shows better ruck craft at the moment. His kicking style's a bit more awkward than Samson Ryan. I guess what we're looking for in our next ruckman is someone to dominate in the air and like mark-wise. What else we got? Michelle, agreed tomorrow. Excuses over for Bolter. Yeah, exactly. You just want to see a big effort from him, don't we? I don't think we're asking too much in that sense. Suns are winning by over 40 now. Jesus. So pleased for Morris Jr. Yeah, Danny. So Tyler Young's a really interesting one because he was a very late starter to football. I think he started playing at under 16s. It was the first time he started playing AFL. So I think he's still got a lot of development and growing and a bit of a ceiling to still hit. He would definitely be one that I would hold on to. The question is, how does he fit in? So I don't know. I don't know how he fits in, but I wouldn't be willingly letting him go yet unless he wanted opportunity. I think it'd be very unlucky for us to rehab him and then get rid of him. I don't think that would make too much sense. I think you want to see some reward from that as a club. Where would he play in our team though, Callaway? Look, he'd probably be playing more as a defender, I think, in the early stages. But yeah, at some point we have to start being creative and playing other people in the midfield. But yeah, in our current team, I would see more as a defender than a midfielder. But he's someone you could probably put in there because he does set up well at stoppage. But I'm guessing there's going to be other players ahead of him in that sense with your Lawlers and Smiley and players like that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we try and fit him in. But it's good problems to have. It's good problems to have. Oh, we've got a text from CB. What's CB saying? There you go. So even CB said Hotton should debut against the Bombers if he keeps this up. Looks ready-made, a class above out there. Class above. Callaway to replace Short. I mean, in a lot of ways, though, Short's already replaced in some senses. Like, I'm still not sure right now who Jaden Short comes back in for. He can't take Sam Banks' role. Tom Brown, I think, still doing a reasonably good role in the back line. Smith's already been omitted. I don't know. Who does Short come back in for? I'm really not sure. Callaway wouldn't be... No, probably not right away. I agree, yes, Mac. There'd definitely be some players ahead of him, but definitely would add a lot to our VFL side, and I think he'd be one of those players that could come in and do a role at some point, if and when needed. Agree, super. MRJ's follow-up work has been really good. Like that first goal, that goal he got, he was like lightning. Just followed up to the forward contest and bang, got it. Danny, after Nank eventually retires, the ruck position worries me. I see Sims more like a forward ruck and question marks on Ryan and Hayes Brown. Yeah, look, for a little while, I was probably thinking that Sims could be a ruck forward. Maybe I got that a little bit wrong in hindsight, unless he's grown a little bit. Obviously not for the now. I'm talking more for 3 or 4 years' time. The thing is with rucks, though, that whenever Nank does retire, I wouldn't be shocked if we then just traded for or got one in a free agency. There's plenty of backup ruckmen for AFL teams that would just love opportunity to be a number one ruck, like a Ned Moyle or someone like that, to replace Nank, whether it's short term, long term. And in a lot of ways, I don't fully subscribe to the theory that you need an elite ruckman to be any good. You look at Max Gawn's probably, North Melbourne, so you look at Tristan Xerri and Max Gawn are probably the 2 best ruckmen in the competition at the moment. And both of their teams respectively are in the bottom half of the ladder. I know Melbourne obviously have won a flag with Gawn in there, but at that stage, their whole list profile was substantially better. So I don't necessarily think we need to find an AA plus ruckman to replace Nank with. You just need someone who can compete well in the air, who can compete well around the ground and just halve the contest, and then your mids kind of do the rest. So I think you could definitely trade in for a need like that, exactly like how we got Nank. Nank wanted opportunity at the time when he was at the Swans, and we swooped, and I think that's what we will look to do again. S-Max says Banks ahead of Short right now. Can't disagree with that. I think that's bang on. Since Banks has gone to halfback, S-Mac, he's been, averaging 24, 25 touches, growing in confidence each week. I don't think you could justifiably put Short back in that role at this point in time, could you? Could he take Banks's role on the other halfback line? Brown's role. I'm not saying to remove Brown from the side, but would Brown have to play a different role? That would be my only thing. I'm actually still personally, I'm okay with Jaden Short playing half forward. I actually think that would be a good fit for us for a couple of reasons. He can kick the ball 60 metres. So if he marks the ball 80 metres out, he can get it to the top of the goal square and clear potential players rolling back. I think that's a good weapon to have. He can kick goals from 55 and 60 metres. And he actually adds a bit of experience and leadership to that half forward line that we don't currently have. So we've got Tom Lynch, who's kind of the grandfather for all of the small forwards and the other key forwards. But then we've got Mansell, Campbell, Green, whoever else might roll through there, who are all very, very inexperienced. And I think Shorty playing at half forward adds a really good bit of value with his experience too. So I actually think that's a good fit. Maybe I'm being hopeful as well, but I really do think that can help us on multiple accounts. Preston's on 24 points. Oh, have I got the score wrong? 24 to 43. What have I got it as? What have I forgotten to push? Oh, God, I've missed 3 behinds. How good am I going? 23. How have I missed 3 behinds? My goodness, I must have been just reading all the questions, which is all fine too. I'd much rather be responding to you guys and miss miss a couple of behinds every now and then. Widescreen, do you think Moyle Gold Coast would be an option? 100%. Yep, Ned Moyle, exactly the type of player you would look at, who is doing well at VFL level for the Gold Coast, could step in and play the role at AFL level if required. I think you could most definitely cherry pick a backup ruckman from almost any AFL. If you went to the backup ruckman at any AFL club and said, hey, we want you to come across to play the number one ruck for us, I don't think there'd be any hesitation in them saying yes, because it's such a difficult position like to crack into the side if you've already got a number one ruckman, that they will jump at it. So I don't think there will be any issue in finding one. I think that's what we'll do anyway. We'll handpick one from another side. Who's the GWS backup ruckman there, A? I know Briggs does the main ruck. Who's the backup? I'm not sort of across who they're using. Leo, would I take CTD if he's available? I'm really torn. My initial instinct to that, Leo, is no. And I only say that because there was a lot of talk on him being a bit of a unicorn and things like that. I even think I said that as well based on the Coates League games I was watching. And he does do well at Coates level. I don't think I've seen enough at national champs level to indicate to me that he's worth one of those higher picks. I don't know. Maybe I end up being ultimately wrong. I just haven't been wowed by him like I thought I would be in the champs. And I think we're better off using those picks on a Josh Lindsay or a Hibbins Hargreave or a Grill, players who can add speed and dynamic to our team, and just trade for a ruckman or find someone in the state leagues. There's easier ways to find a ruckman, because even if we took Duff Tytler now, he's not going to be ready to ruck for 4 or 5 years as a number one ruck. So, and Nank's going to be retired long before he's ready to do it. So we're still going to need a stopgap. So I would bypass Duff Tytler based on that, and I would just pick up midfielders, halfbacks, elite ball users that can help shape your team and trade for a ruck when we need to. Nick Madden, okay, 204 centimetre. Yes, exactly right, eh? Someone like that, 100% you would target. I agree. Michelle likes the idea of Shorty 4. I think it fits for us. I think it's a good fit. Super likes it as well. That's it. Clear multiple zones. Exactly right. Being able to clear multiple zones with one kick is extraordinarily valuable. And we're lucky to have a few players who can do it. Bolter can do it, although he opts to kick short too often. Tom Brown can do it, and Jaden Short can do it. And like I said, to have Shorty mark the ball 80 metres out from goal and get it really deep to a dangerous spot quickly is a weapon, and it's one that we should be utilising. Morris, the mid today. Missing behinds. Yeah, I know. Yes, we don't want more behinds, do we, Jones Racing? Widescreen. Would I rather Short or Sondy at half forward? That's a good question. Oh, that's a really good question. You guys all know that I really want Sonzy to get game time, but I only want him to get game time if he's playing in the midfield or getting CBAs, which he's not getting. So if we were going to persist playing Sonzy as a half forward and not put him in the midfield, then I would probably rather Short, because I think Short's penetrating, kicking, and leadership probably helps us more than what Sondy's skill set offers us at this point in time. If Sondy was going to get CBAs, I would pick Sondy, but I just don't think we're going to do that for whatever the reasons might be. It's a good question, though. And Matt, it does sound like that from Uze's language, it sounded like that Short may have to do a VFL stint because he's been out for a bit, what's it now, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And I'm happy to back that. And again, if Shorty plays VFL, I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing the midfield for VFL minutes as well. I think there's a bit he can do there. Phonics, I think a team in a better place will make us regret not taking him. But ultimately, that's because he's not the right kind of... Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Like a team who's already well established, who's already got some good ruck stocks and whatever, I think will benefit from Duff Tytler. I think we need to still add some polish and class, and we can just trade for a ruck. Plenty out there. John, is it possible that Richmond pick up via NGA selections Tanner Armstrong and Cody Walker? It is possible next year. It is possible. Tanner Armstrong, I don't want to ever say anything's a lock, but you would say that we should be very certain to get him, assuming we've got all the right mechanisms and points to match. Cody Walker obviously has the father-son ties to Carlton. And look, I know people laugh at the video I put out about Cody Walker, but I only put stuff out if I get it from a valuable source. And I'll say it again, not at all suggesting that Cody Walker has turned his back on Carlton yet, not saying that he's picking us 100%. All I'm saying is there's a lot of narrative out there from mainly Blue supporters, even some Richmond supporters, thinking that Cody Walker is locked and loaded, 100% done to Carlton, and that is just not true. And like I said in the video, from where that information come from and the source that come from is utterly impeccable. And there was evidence to back it up as being irrefutable. So like I said, he had a couple of meetings we had a meeting with the Blues and with the Tigers earlier this month, and walked away saying, why can't Carlton be more like Richmond? And yeah, we have been ultra impressive, and they are super impressed with what we're doing. We are wrapping our arms around him, and we are giving ourselves the best chance possible. Like I said that a month or so ago, and now it comes out in mainstream the other day. So we are not giving up. Like I said, the father-son pool could still be way too strong for Cody Walker, and I can completely respect and understand it. But it's not done and dusted just yet. And if I'm trying to remove the emotion and the bias from it as a Richmond supporter, and maybe this comment still doesn't come off that way, but if you're looking at Richmond's prospects long-term versus Carlton's prospects long-term and how they're currently travelling, I just don't think that long-term that Carlton's his best option. They are unravelling before our very eyes. There's a lot of disharmony. There's a lot of instability. There's a lot of player issues, board issues, culture issues. And that's not going to go away anytime soon. So I really do think that we are a genuinely better long-term prospect for him and his football. Oh, TAJ HOTTON. He's got a rifle banana. Oh, he's hit the target, but Bow put it down. Oh, but he's kicked it over his... Oh, God. So, yeah, I think we're a good chance. But might be wrong. TAJ HOTTON with a cheeky little banana to Bauer, who put the ball down. TAJ HOTTON's up to 14 disposals. G. But, yeah. And that's it. So, when you look at the list profile of Carlton, by the time Cody Walker sets foot on the field, Cripps will be 32, Kerno and Mackay will be in their 30s, Wiedering not far behind. Like, he's not going to get long with these guys who are already, in some ways, showing decline. De Koning's probably not going to be there. So it's not all sunshine and roses at the Blues. And the longer that they keep imploding, the better. But yeah, bit to play out, I reckon. Bit to play out. Could you see Banks and Brown as permanent wingers? That's a good question, AJ. I think I might have said on the Wednesday night show with Tiggs that it would be interesting to see what Brown and Banks pushing up to the wings looks like if we have some other halfback replacements of quality. I think they could both play that role, the wing roles. Hugo's done okay at times. Probably hasn't had his best month of football, if we're being fair. He's also young and trying to work it out as well. But if two better, like if a Josh Lindsay we draft, for example, has some really good signs off half back, then you could definitely push one of them up to the wing and get good impact, I reckon. Big kick inside 50. But no one home. No one home. Agree, Paul. Agree. Frank, look, I'm not putting a line through Caleb Smith just yet. He shows AFL traits at times. I think he just needs a bit more experience and composure. Like, he wouldn't have played any more than 8 games at AFL level, would he? I think that's far too early to write someone off. I think one of the main problems for him is he's got hot competition for the spot that he plays, and the level that they play it at, they're already a bit more developed and advanced than what he is. So it's it's probably a bit trickier for him to get into the side, but I definitely don't think it's a point in time where we can write him off yet. I think he shows some good signs. Just needs to do it more often consistently. Clint, welcome, mate. I'm thinking take pick 2 for Lindsay. I'm with you. Then possibly trade pick 3 to Gold Coast with 7 and 10. Pick Hargreaves, Hibbins. Mate, Clint, if we can orchestrate that, I would be over the moon. Over the moon. And you've probably picked a good target in Gold Coast because of the whole points thing with all their academy selections and stuff. So it's probably not a bad shout. But if the net outcome can be Lindsay, Hargreaves, Hibbins, and Grill or Rodriguez, that's an epic haul, Clint. I would 100% back that in every day of the week. That adds speed, class, X factor on all fronts, and would be very complementary to the 8 players we took last year. I reckon that's a great shout. I would love to be able to make that happen. That's a good call. Cody to the ticks for the melts, James Racing. Oh, mate. It would be unbelievable. Cannot confirm or deny widescreen. It's not my source, it's the person who gave it to me, but yeah, cannot say too much more on that front, but it's very, very good, the sauce. Bit of barbecue sauce. G'day, Massimo. Scorers, I'll give you the goal scorers. Give me a second. All individual goal kickers that I'm about to read out for you. Lachlan Wilson 1, Tom Sims 1, Harry Scott 1, Morris Rowley 1, and you've scored 1 yourself, Massimo Razzo, and Tom McKenzie kicked 1 as well. All individuals. Yeah, exactly right, S-Mate. Can anyone tell me how many games Caleb Smith's played in the AFL? Oh, Tyler Young is having a shot from 52 on the fly. Oh, Tyler Young, get around him. What a goal. Would not have picked that in a million years, Tyler Young running around, going full Jaden Short and bombing 1 from 52 metres. That's a great goal. Well done. They've given it to James Trezise on the screen. It's Tyler Young who kicked that. It was not James Trezise. That's a great goal. He's got some tricks, Tyler. He's got some tricks. I like it. Possibly what? Yeah, Jagger probably plays a part too, but I mean, we can still boast that we've got Smiley, HOTTON, Lawler that he can play with as well. And I think we've got some other players in the same NGA as him that he's good friends with too. So we've got a bit on our side, it must be said. Yeah, I think that Hayes Brown's definitely showing a lot better signs as a ruckman. My only concern for both Ryan and Hayes Brown is neither of them are still very good at marking, are they? Oh, Lockie Street's just bursting unopposed. 55. No, needed to lower his eyes then. There you go. So Smith, 12 AFL games. So I wouldn't be passing judgment on him until he's at about 35 to 55. If we can get it. But again, like I've said, the biggest problem that he's got is that Banks plays the role really well. Tom Brown's not going anywhere anytime soon. So he's kind of fighting with them. And then Luke Traynor is probably another one who can play the role as well. So it's just really difficult for him to squeeze into the side for a consistent period. Yeah, Wilson's pretty good. Agree, Frank. HOTTON's above the level, isn't he? You can tell. There's very few players you can tell that are just like, yeah, he's far too good for this. And TAJ is one of them. And I think a lot of us were probably expecting to see what we're seeing with TAJ with Josh Smiley when he started playing VFL. And look, he didn't show that to start with. I think he was too heavy to show that. I really do think that with his redefined body that he's now got after this training block, I think we'll see a very different Josh Smiley in a couple of weeks when he's playing VFL. Wales Frank, if speed is a must, if speed's the go-to factor, which I definitely don't disagree on, then we want to execute what Clint's proposal is, and that's get Lindsay, Hibbins Hargreaves, and Grill or Rodriguez, and we'll be laughing all the way to the bank. That plus your HOTTON fixes your speed issue pretty quickly. Good mark there. Right as I've said that Hayes Brown doesn't offer much marking, he takes that. Great timing. Bauer, good. Yeah, we don't mind that. Have we got advantage? No, everyone was confused then. Reed Banks. Yeah, so Banks only just passed 30 games, and I think you would start to say that Banks now looks a bit more composed and at the level. He's obviously gotten a bit more opportunity and he's making the most of it. But I'm really excited to see what Banks does in the future. I think he's only going to keep growing in the role. And this is why we have to be very careful with what we do when Jaden Short comes back in, because if we were to remove Banks from the role for Short straight away with no real rhyme or reason, I actually think that could be detrimental. So that's why when Jaden Short comes back in, for me, I think he's got to play as a forward at this point in time. Yeah, Frank, Hayes Brown's showing some good signs, isn't he? And you got to remember that last year, for a quarter or half of the season, he was playing in the VFL. Whilst being listed for us, he was, I don't know how the arrangement worked, but he was playing games in the VFL still. So he's only probably had one season in totality between half of last year and half of this year as a full-time VFL ruckman. And yeah, he's showing some good signs. He's a good size, isn't he? He's a good size. I'm excited to see where he goes. Again, he's another competitive animal, isn't he? I reckon Short will be back Skudoosh. I just don't think it'll be as a backman. And that's okay. Like I said, I do truly believe that we could actually utilise his experience up forward. I think that would be handy. Oh, I forgot to do the timer again. Can someone remind me at 3/4 time to do the timer for quarter 4? Because I keep forgetting. Frank would play Bauer in defence. He spoils well and kicks well out of defence. He could be the ideal replacement for Broad. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it, Frank. My only comment or concern there would be if Sims kicks into the man on the mark. My only thing there would be we're about to get Gibcus back. Like, we've already got 8 key position defenders. Do we need to make a 9th from a forward? Or can we already get the same thing from Gibcus playing down there as well, if that makes sense? Maybe they can try it at VFL level potentially when you've got Harry Armstrong or Jonty Fall and Sims playing in the VFL and there's a bit more of a squeeze for positions. I'm not sure how it would translate to AFL level when we've already got so many players who can play the same type of role already. But I definitely don't mind players trying to reinvent themselves to get more out of them as players. And like the example before, we saw it with Dan Rioli. Will it work all the time? Probably not, but you would rather try something than nothing, I guess. Oh, is that why S-Mac? Because if he's okay, that would make sense though. From a Category B rookie, he can play other leagues. Okay, that makes sense. But how good though, right? That he was playing half the year in the VFL, and then he's already had an impact for half his games at a VFL level last year and this year. It's a good story in a lot of ways, isn't it? That makes sense though. It's a good shout. Basketball background. So like Scott Pendlebury. Rumours are that Scott Pendlebury used to play basketball. I'm not sure if anyone's heard that before. Keep that under wraps. Just heard on the grapevine that Pendles played basketball when he was younger. Yeah, Phonics, it's a funny one, isn't it? I mean, as Richmond supporters, we all obviously love and respect and will always appreciate what Bolton, Baker, Graham, Rioli, what they all did for us, unquestionably. But with what we've ended up getting out of it, the club, whether they knew about it at the start of the year, middle of the year, whenever it was, I think the club definitely made the right decisions to pull the trigger when they did, if they were umming and ahhing. And we've been able to really get bang for buck with them leaving. And again, we'll always love them for what they did for us with the premierships and shit like that. But it's now a new age of the Tiger era. And yeah, it's a bit of a bumpy roller coaster. We're going to have to buy our time a little bit. And there'll be a little bit of pain along the journey. But long term, it's going to be pretty exciting long term once they all get that experience under their belt. Well, red coloured red, it's an interesting question. If Nate misses games, I mean, as it sits right now, this very second, Samson Ryan is... Oh, was that Taj Hotton who almost took a hanger? He's like a panther. Look at him go. Someone give it back to Taj. He's inside the... He's just run forward and we just couldn't get it there. But yeah, at the moment, with Samson Ryan out with the plantar fascia injury, Sims, I don't think you could put Sims in as your number one ruck at this stage. That would be brutal. But yeah, you would have to consider Hayes Brown to do it. Yes, good. I think Shorty might see some VFL as well. Eleanor's a good player, isn't he, Smack? It's such a shame that we can't fit him onto our list. Like, as much as I would love us to sign Eleanor, he just simply would be an AFL listed player still playing VFL because we've got so many key defensive players or key position defensive players. We just don't have the right list profile for him to have a game. Oh, that's really stiff on Sims. Wow, he's paid in the back. That's unlucky from the big man. But Eleanor should definitely get a chance at AFL for another club. I wholeheartedly agree. I think he's got some great AFL traits. Reads the ball well. Uses the ball reasonably well. Oh. Give it a Taj. No. He was nowhere in a position to get that. That was a bad call from me. If Bauer's contracted... I think Bauer's uncontracted, Clint, from memory. But, I mean, to your point, inevitably there'll be a player like a Bauer, like a Sonzi, a Jacob Blight, for example, who may want to explore opportunities elsewhere because they're not getting senior game time or playing in the positions they believe they should play in. And I think that will be how we acquire the relevant pick for Callaway. So you're on the right path, I agree. Oh, behind. Yeah, Taj was good in that little bit of play, wasn't he? He's got some moves. He just reads the play so well. Yeah, Yassine's good as well. That's a good call. Taj up to 15 disposals now. We desperately need him to kick a goal if I'm to get near my projection. We really need to put our foot down this quarter. Anyone else got any questions that we should put in the poll? What's some good discussion points that we should poll for the chat today? Open to suggestions. Do like a poll. Oh, Cumberland, another one. He's playing somewhere up north, isn't he? Oh, Morris. Gone for some hang time. Tyler Young. I thought he was going to get pinged then. Oh, Hayesman was taken out of that then. Yeah, thank you. So my only thing is, like, I don't know if he's going to kick the ball or not, but his kicking action's a little bit weird. Does anyone remember Ryan Garthwaite? Almost like him. Just a bit awkward, but if it works, I mean, if it works, it works. That wasn't so bad, was it? Oh, Taj. Taj. No, he's missed it again. Damn. He's so good. He just needs to finish that goal. He just reads it so well. He's got such great awareness in traffic. He just needed to finish it. Oh, I feel for him. I feel for him. He deserves the goal. Who do we see as the best key forward of our current crop outside of Lynch? Now, I'll give you the choice here, SMAC. In the poll, you can only put 4 names. I can't put any more than that. So what 4 do you want me to go with? Are you talking the youngsters? Like, are we talking Armstrong, Fall, Sims, and Lafau? Would they be the 4, or is there another 4? I'll give you the choice. Old Hunchback Garthwaite. Get him in next week. Leo's seen enough. I think we've all seen enough. The celebration will be great when Oh, kick the ball, mate. Jesus Christ, no awareness. Who was that? Austin Johnson just... I actually think he kicked it, though. I reckon that's a really harsh holding the ball. All right, who will... Oh, my God. Morris too high there. Oh, my God. How's my spelling going? Fall. Sims. Armstrong. All right, so this poll is the question from SMAC. Who will be the best key forward out of those players listed? Paul, Sims, Armstrong, or the Tap Fawcett? Get your votes in. Frank Trezise to train off-season in the midfield group could become a tagger. Where do we see Trezise playing his best footy? Because I think he can definitely do it on the wing or on half-back. I think he's going to get more opportunity. I actually really like what Trezise offers. As Hayes Brown gets a free kick. That's really unlucky. That only happened because the throw-in was about 80 metres too short. Give it to Taj, though. Hayes Brown. We'll see how this kick exits the boot. Watch him make me look like a right knobhead from saying that he hasn't got a good kicking style. There's Hayes Brown on about a 45-degree angle, 40 metres out. Oh, he's actually done okay there. That's straight through the middle. Looks awkward, but it was effective. Hayes Brown slots the goal. He's having a great game, to be honest. Very, very good game. Hayes Brown with the goal. Trezise screams lockdown half forward, do a job on a rebounding defender. There's definitely a few things he could do. Appreciate everyone stopping by as well for the VFL watch along. Make sure you smash the like button. Try and get it up to 40 or 50 likes. It helps spread the algorithm. And if you're in a Richmond Facebook group or if you're on Twitter, share the link so we can try and fill the room full of Richmond people. Good to chat footy with everyone, do some polls. Hayes Brown, late entrance onto the poll. I can only fit 4 options, unfortunately. Scottish, a Taj HOTTON updates. 16 disposals, 3 behinds, including that really epic dancing in traffic snap that he missed. 1 mark, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, and just looks well above the level. Realistically, should have had at least 2 goals. And he's getting forward here again. He's swarming. My pleasure, James Racing. It's always good fun to chat footy with you all. Leo would play Trezise over Ralph Smith on the wing. I mean, well, he was playing there originally, wasn't he? Look, Ralph Smith hasn't had the best month, like we said before, so maybe there is something in there to flick the magnets around and change it. And Trezise has had an okay month by contrast at VFL. Brandon, do we think Taj will play at all in the last quarter? I hope so. Because I want him to kick a goal. It might be maybe half the last quarter. It may be a bit managed. I think we'll see him out there, though. Oh, Hayes Brown just grabs it out the ruck. Morris blasted out in the full. Widescreen TV, 2001 champs, Vic Country versus Vic Metro. Between the sides, there was Ablett, Johnson, Bartel, Kelly. Wow. Last year, Richmond champs, Trainer, Smiley, Lawler, Armstrong, full. Exactly right. Yeah, Hayes Brown smashing it, SMAC. Hayes Brown... Okay, so no one would have had this on their bingo card. Hayes Brown is the leading disposal getter for Richmond. 20 disposals, 2 marks, 1 tackle, 23 hitouts, 10 clearances, 1 goal, 1. That is some type of game from Hayes Brown at the moment. He is annihilating the ruckman at the moment. You couldn't have bet me any amount of money to suggest that Hayes Brown would be the leading disposal winner for us at any point in time in the game. Frank, I wholeheartedly agree. HOTTON could play AFL next week. I can completely see it happening. Good mark, Tyler Young. He's had a solid game too. Morris up to 14 disposals. Morris has had 8 tackles already as well. He had 7 or 8 last week as well, and 4 clearances. So again, guys, he's about to get his 15th disposal. Not getting the same 25 or 30 touches he had the other week as he hits TAJ HOTTON, who gives it back to Morris. That's a lovely combination to watch. TAJ to HOTTON. What? HOTTON to Rioli. Bauer with a big mark. That's got a big footy username written all over it, HOTTON to Rioli, doesn't it? We can get used to seeing that for a few years to come. Young's agrees, Skadoosh. Young's having a good game. Hayes Brown's still 20 leading the way. That makes me laugh. Great mark from Bauer. But how about the 1-2 play from Morris Rioli Jr. and TAJ HOTTON there? They are a dynamic duo with good footy IQ. Morris Rioli now up to 16 touches, 4 clearances, 8 tackles, 3 marks. Obviously had that really good inside 50 just then as well. Young's been very good, Frank. Kicked a goal too, which you don't see very often. Oh, Bauer's at the post. God damn. Well, Ash, if you'd love 2 HOTTONs, this is why I think we should draft Hib and Targroup, because I think he's HOTTON 2.0. Maybe a fraction under what TAJ HOTTON is, but very similar player type and very explosive and dynamic. And I think he and HOTTON together will bring lots of excitement and joy to the Tiger Army if we were to grab him. Paul, when there is a chance, and gamble responsibly, we want to flag that whenever there is a chance to have a look at the odds for the Rising Star for next year, TAJ HOTTON has to get a look in. Like, would almost be a Monty to win it. Definitely worth the cheeky fiver. Well, that's not a bad kick either. That's a great goal. We're starting to assert ourselves here, which is good. Could we play Hayes Brown versus Essendon? Sam Taylor for his first goal. Look, it probably depends. Kind of to Brady's point, if we believe the Essendon game is a winnable game, I'd maybe still stick with Nank. And because last time we played Essendon, we had Samson Ryan, didn't we? We didn't have Nankervis. So I would probably roll with Nank, assuming that he was right to go and really give ourselves a shot. I still wouldn't be against seeing Hayes Brown play a game at some point. I mean, if there's a year to do it, this is the year. There's 0 to lose by playing a Hayes Brown in a game at some point later in the year. At the moment, his form's warranting having been looked at. So you gotta give it some consideration, I think. What's the qualification, Skadoosh, for Rising Star? Is it 8 games and you can't do it the following year? Is that right? That's right, James Racing. Easy money, your CV would say. Well, that was the easy money. Oh, no, a bit of miscommunication there with Street. If TAJ plays this year, he'll get a nom and be ineligible next year. Is that right? If you get a nomination this year, you can't be nominated the following year? Is that how it works? I mean, the people picking the Rising Star hate us anyway, don't they? Or up to 29 likes. Can we get it to 50? Let's get to 50 likes. We'll end the poll. If anyone else has another poll question, send it through. So the question was, who will be the best key forward out of those listed? 64% have gone Armstrong, 30% Fall, 2% Sims, 2% Fawcett. A tap. I really was quite buoyed by how much bigger Harry Armstrong was looking in those recent club photos. And CB was too. I think he made a tweet as well. Once Armstrong continues to fill out and fill that size, he is going to be a very scary prospect if he can utilise that strength properly. Surely that was a high tackle to us. No? Okay, play on. Oh, can you get 2 noms? Oh, there you go. So it goes on games, not age. Right, okay, that's good. It's a good call, James Racing. Hotton could have 29 and kick 4 on debut and Shifter would still ignore him. Bang on. I love that the club podcast have really taken that and run with it too at every chance they get. One non per year. Yeah. We just got to make sure he remains eligible for next year by not playing too many games. You walked past Armstrong before widescreen? Nice. Massive as in height and width, or just height? He looked a big boy. Fawcett had a foot complaint or foot issue smirk. I'm not sure when in the week that came to light, but I read somewhere that it was a foot issue. So I'm not sure exactly what it was though, but that was what I had heard. Good one, Scootish. We can do that one as a poll. Yep. Frank, thank Blair Hartley and his team for how Hotton, Lawler, Armstrong, Fall, Elgar and Smiley in the same team. And we've sort of talked about this before, Frank, but typically speaking, when you draft players, if you were to draft 6 players, the stats usually suggest that half will make it, half won't. More often than not. I think we're in a somewhat unique circumstance where all 8 look probable of making it, which is quite remarkable. And like you said, a credit to Blair and more maybe specifically Chris Tochet with the work that he did, obviously before his passing, which is very tragic and sad. But we did say early days that this was going to be a Chris Tochet legacy draft, and it definitely still has that vibe to it. And Ry Geeshan does a great job as well. Long gone are the days of drafting Jared Oakley-Nichols off the base of some grainy footage or secondhand information. What a disaster that was. Jesus. Miranda, it's funny to listen to Greeners on the podcast regarding the Rising Star. They were trying to find some relationship between Trainer and Geelong to get him a selection. They reckon that's very funny, Miranda. And scarily accurate too. Scarily accurate. Yeah, if he was wearing the hoops, he would have already been nominated a little while ago. And maybe Trainer's been a little bit of a victim of games that we've lost. But there's been games where we've been close or won where he should have 100% been in calculation for a Rising Star nomination. But no, I reckon I actually agree with him. Where are we? CB will don the leather chaps. Upper body significant development widescreen. I like it. Clint, whoever we play in the remainder, we must lose to St Kilda and Carlton to allow North to stay below. It's funny you mentioned that, Clint, because I guess as a supporter, we definitely look at those things as real things that we should consider. I would assume the club don't look at it that way, but it would be funny to know if they do. Yeah, because I know what you mean. We need those teams just above them to break away that little bit more, don't we? Just a fraction. Oh, Armstrong will be our Jeremy Cameron. We'll take that. I think that quarter was a good quarter. The second quarter was a bit shit. That was a good quarter, though. We'll have a look at the stats quickly. Disposals, Lockie Street, 23 touches. Hayes Brown, second leading disposal winner for Richmond, 21 touches, 1 goal, 1 behind, 2 marks, 1 tackle, 26 hit-outs, and 10 clearances. Like, he is taking the absolute piss here. Caleb Smith, 19 disposals, 7 marks, 1 tackle. Harry Scott, 18 touches. Tash Hotton is already up to 18 disposals, 3 behinds. He just needs to convert one of those shots at goal. 2 marks, 1 tackle, 1 clearance. A lot of fancy footwork and a lot of footy smarts. Morris Jr., 16 disposals, 1 goal, 3 marks, 8 tackles, 4 clearances. Had a very, very good game. James Trezise, 14 disposals, 3 marks, 2 tackles, 1 clearance. Tyler Young, 12 disposals, 1 goal from 55 metres out on the run, if you don't mind. 3 marks, 1 clear. He's got a clearance. Yeah, okay. Where else are the AFL listed players? Sims, 6 disposals, 1 goal, 5 marks. Bauer, 6 touches. Cozzy, 5. I think that is it for the AFL listed players. I really like how they play together in juniors. Yeah, they definitely have a good understanding of each other, don't they, the draftees widescreen. I won't be able to hang around post this game because the Hawks game started my wife's Hawthorn, and I don't want her to be left with the kids one out for too long. So I'll have to tap out and go. But I do definitely need to have a scatter chart lesson from you on how it all works and looks so I can understand it better. Frank, I cannot name him, but a certain Essendon assistant coach that I know well told me that our draftees are A-graders. You love to hear it. I like it, Frank. That's good. Melksham, has he kicked 5'6"? Random side thing. Jake Melksham, lovely guy. Lovely guy. Dealt with him on a couple of work things. Really nice dude. Dave Hedgecog, Rising Star non-criteria is less than 10 games at the start of the season and under 21. Can be nominated every year you're under 21 and played less than 10. Okay, so you could get 3 nominations. Right. So Taj, we're still on for Taj then. So full-time, the Gold Coast defeated the D's. Not good for our death ride stuff, is it? How much game time for Hotton so far, Adam? Look, I don't know what the percentage would be. He's played substantially more than last week, though, and it almost feels like he's playing a half of every quarter, if that makes sense. But he's been super impactful. 18 disposals, 2 marks, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 3 behinds, 2 set shots that he probably should have kicked, and a bit of magic, some sidestepping in congestion inside 50 that he probably should have kicked as well. He'll be spewing he's missed out on 3 chances. Could have easily been three goals straight, to be honest. But you can tell he knows where the ball is, and he's doing some good things. Which way's down? Will they keep Sims at VFL for a while? I think it will depend on how we function at AFL level. That will dictate what we do next. So in my mind, and I've said this for a few weeks now, I really think having Lafau up there with Fall and Lynch is a better combination than having Sims and Fall and Lynch. And it's just because as much as I love Fall and Sims and what they offer, they just can't compete strong enough and for long enough over 4 quarters. And what ends up happening is they're playing on very, very experienced key defenders who can just outdo them across the game, across 4 quarters. And that takes our small forwards out of the game because they start marking and everything. So I think McKelty makes a big difference there. And I believe we'll see more chances created tomorrow because McKelty's going to be able to be more experienced and mature to bring the ball to ground. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Peter, I reckon you're well off the mark, Peter. I respect the right to everyone have an opinion, but Morris is playing perfectly fine. 8 tackles. He's had a goal that was unbelievable at the start of the game. He hit up Jacob Bow before for his goal. Yeah, entitled to your view. I think you're well off though. I think Morris has had a great game. 8 tackles, 4 clearances, 16 disposals, 1 goal. Hitting his targets forward of centre, linking up with TAJ HOTTON out of the back line, breaking the lines. Not sure what else you want him to do. He'll need to do that more consistently, more often to be AFL, but he's more than performing well at VFL level, I reckon. Agree, Scruffy. Smash the like button. Get us to 50 or 60 likes. Jay Saunders, heard from a friend that Tom Lynch is 100% signing up for next year. Yeah, I'm glad. I know there was that talk last week about it. Like we said for a few weeks, I really do think that just with that age and experience gap between the forwards we drafted, we need to have Tom Lynch guide them for another year. I don't know how we're going to go getting 20-odd games out of him next year, but this is where I think McKelty can be super important in bridging that gap as well. We've obviously seen McKelty play as the number 1 forward last year and did a pretty stellar job, it must be said. So I'm super keen to see how he goes as a second forward, but I'm really glad that Lynch needs to get by another year for our sake. And Ralph, to your point, Lynch won't be triple team with McKelty, and that's exactly right. And like I said, it's no real fault of Fall and Sims. It's just that opposition defenders like your Rory Lobbs and all the experienced guys, they know they can fold off them and impact Lynch. And yeah, McKelty won't let that happen. Number 1, he'll smash the packs and bust it wide open. And I think we'll see a substantial difference in the amount of chances and more quality chances we can create. What else have we got here? Impressive stats from Hayes Brown. It is, Adam. It's at one point he was our leading disposal getter, would you believe? Not sure many would have ever picked that. Morris Rioli Jr. is ranked second best on ground right now. That doesn't surprise me, to be honest. He's had a great game. Franklin, he sometimes can get himself in two minds, but he still had a pretty high impactful game, it must be said. Let's see if we can close out the last quarter here. We don't want to fall asleep and let them back in. You want to actually see them put their foot down and dominate here. Yeah, Morris, and I think we've all realised that the last couple of weeks, I've forgotten the clock. No one reminded me. Damn it, Smirk just reminded me then. Morris is a midfielder. I think we can categorically take that to the bank now. You know what? I'm going to start the timer just because I'll feel good about myself for doing it for at least a moment in time, even though it's 45 seconds off. Thank you, Smirk, though. I appreciate it. Or James Racing's gone prediction. Hotton to kick his goal in the last quarter. Hotton just gave a nice little handball. He's out there, so we're seeing him in the last quarter. I reckon he'll play half of this quarter is my prediction. Oh. Unlucky to slip there, Morris. Peter won't be happy with that. Unlucky. Oh, Hayes Brown. Hayes Brown is genuinely taking the piss here. He will go and buy a lotto ticket and feel really good about his chances after his game today. Tyler Young getting involved. Oh, Jai's blinded by the sun. What end are you at? At the end, the Tigers are kicking now? Like, can there be anything worse than if you're playing footy as a forward with the sun beaming in your eyes, not being able to see what's coming at you, where the ball's going? Like, I know they're elite athletes and shit happens, but geez, that'd be tough. Oh, no one knew what was happening with that advantage. Al Noor got completely lost there. That was a little bit unlucky. The whole ground froze with the whistle, except for the dude with the ball who just kept running and just backed himself in. Got away with it. TAJ Hotton after 19 disposals. 2 marks, 1 tackle, 1 clearance. He's a smooth mover, Peter. Agree. One of the smoothest. Nah, that's an annoying start. Not going to lie. Don't want to let him back in. Luke Ryan. Oops. I really hope that Hawthorn do a number on the Kangaroos today. Look, to be fair to North, they've actually done really well the last few weeks. They're sort of playing some really nice football. So it feels like they're getting closer to piecing it together fully and getting a bit of a scalp. But it's in Tassie today, though, isn't it? Oh, terrible bounce. Recall that. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. We want it to drop 5 to 7%. Agree. Surely Lawler and TAJ rotating through the mid and forward is a future nightmare. Absolutely. A huge nightmare. And then you've got Smiley just floating around, rolling through a certain forward or midfield position as well. So that's plenty of excitement to come in the future years. Good tackle, Dresice. Appreciate everyone hanging around for the last quarter. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. If you want to subscribe, hit the sub button as well. Free to do, and it keeps you afloat of all the Richmond news and content. Is it fair to say, Taj? I reckon it's over a half, Grant. I reckon it's just over a half. It's annoying because the player stats on the AFL website for VFL doesn't give you time on ground, so we don't really get a gauge as supporters viewing stats. I know the club would have all of those stats on their GPSs and things like that. but it feels like he's played at least a half of every quarter, maybe more. But he's been playing at some stoppages around the ground, drifting back in defence. Sophie, we are very excited about Taj. 19 touches, doing very well. That's it, Sigurd. Not only was it probably touch, but it didn't really travel a hell of a long way, did it? It feels like we've switched off a bit here. Oh, great mark. That's a solid mark, Cosy. Well done. Oh, Jesus, dangerous kick. Hit the target, though. Or would I take Sharp or Lindsay if they were both available at 2? It's a hard one. Like, as much as Sharp's a good player, I feel like we've already got a few Sharp types. There would be genuine temptation to take Josh Lindsay or Hibbins Hargreave. Sharp's good, but can we get more value with having an elite user of the ball like a Josh Lindsay instead? Who would you take? Who would everyone else take? If we had pick 2 and Sharp was available and Josh Lindsay, who would you all take? It is a bit of a weaker draft, Sophie. I would still be happy, though, if we could walk away with Lindsay and Hibbins Hargreave or someone like that. Oh, Taj, just pushing up to the wing, taking a mark. Nice one. Good kick, Taj. I know that was to a pack, but it was very good. All right, we'll poll it. Oh, wrong button. Start a poll. Who would you take at pick 2? I'll put in a couple of other options too. So the question popping up in the poll is, who would you take at pick number 2? So we've got Dyson Sharp, Josh Lindsay, Duff Tytler, or Grill. Let us know what you think. Get your votes in. Yeah, I kind of feel like that we are in a position to be a bit more picky and pick more of a needs player. Oh, Razzo, you got to finish that, son. Rubbish kick. Didn't even score. Jeez, that's shocking. Or would you rather go for Flounders instead? I'd probably almost rather Lindsay than Flounders. Just because you probably get him for a little bit longer. I mean, I wouldn't. Lindsay's got okay speed. I don't know whether he's lightning quick like what others might be. Someone else might be more qualified to say that. Brendan, if I was to have a guess, I would say Taj has played maybe like 65 to 70%. Does that feel high or about right, folks? What does everyone think? How much percentage game time? It's almost like he's played a half of every quarter, Brandon. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. It's annoying that we can't see time on ground stats. We're at 47 likes, folks. Let's get to the 50. Let's raise the bat for the half century. Ideal scenario from widescreen. West Coast takes Sharp. Trade pick 2 to Essendon for 5-6. Essendon takes CDT. We take Dersma 3. There's another name we haven't mentioned yet. Saints take Greaves. 5 and 6, we take Lindsay and Hibbins Hargreave. There's so many ways it can work, though. And Durs was another one that's a genuine... Oh, is that Bauer? Someone who said before, in from the side. I think that's what he's doing. That's a much better attempt than trying to go over the top of 6 people. Good mark from Jacob Bauer. Rationale, Taj could most definitely debut next week at the AFL. I would say. But you kind of get the feeling that coaches will want to see or get some more match fitness. From a touch or quality perspective, I think he's shown more than enough. Dersman's, yeah, he's kind of faded in and out of some games. He played in defence the other day and then went forward and kicked a couple of goals at the end. What I don't like is I don't like when people get turned away from Dersman because of his family name. I don't think that's what we should be worrying about. The kid can play football. I would still probably say, I would personally still take Lindsay and him and Hargrave ahead of him, but that's just me personally. Dersman's a bit more of a utility, I guess. Is there more question marks over utilities? I don't know. Callaway will get a chance. Is Tyler Young going to have a shot for his second goal here? Now, no one would have had this on their bingo card either, Tyler Young for potentially 2 goals. This would be incredible. G'day Hoops. Taj has played awesome. 20 disposals, 3 marks, 1 tackle, 1 clearance. He's kicked 3 behinds. Honestly, should have had 3 goals. One of them was a bit of fancy footwork in a close situation and missed in 2 set shots. As Tyler Young, he's put his second goal on the board. Tyler Young, what an incredible day. That's it. Tyler Young, could he become a forward? Do we now start throwing it out there? That was gun barrel straight. In terms of a technical kick for goal, that was pretty good. There's the guy in the suit running water. Look at that. Looks like a pitch invader. And one of them, RS, I'm not sure if you were watching, mate, but one of them was from bloody 55 on the run, just potting them from everywhere. Young the forward. Well, I mean, if he's not going to get put in as a defender, I mean, dare we say, it's not the worst idea. Oh, you're heading to the location, Hoops, for the pending wedding. You going to live stream the wedding? Can we get a live stream of that? No, it'll be an amazing day, mate. It'll be a good day. Trade short to North for their pick 39 and use that for Callaway. Oh, he's taking a mark down back now, Young. He's doing everything. He's having a field day. That's a good question, Scruffy. I don't know if he was a striker when he played soccer. Like I said before, I know that he played AFL only from about 16 years of age onwards. Nah, be adventurous, RFC. Don't be such a square. Be adventurous. If the guy's kicking goals and no one else is, let him have a crack. Get him in amongst it. Throw him forward. Who cares? We've got nothing to lose. We either risk losing him or we get adventurous. Like you said, no one else can kick goals. We may as well put someone in who can. Although Lafau might course correct us tomorrow, hopefully. I don't think we should be so hell-bent on not experimenting at this stage when we've got to try and find spots for players and see what might work for us. I think it's a good chance to be experimental. And when you see games like today from Tyler Young, it definitely confirms for me that we should not be entertaining getting rid of him. We should be definitely keeping him and seeing what transpires. Oh, he's up now, Sims. He's all right. Hayes Brown, 24 disposals, 31 hit-outs, 10 clearances. Ridiculous game. Oh, Taj is just trying to literally pickpocket someone here. Inishta, I actually don't know a lot about Callum Smith. Is that KB's grandson? Is that who that is? Okay, thank you. You just put that in there. Thank you. I wasn't sure who that was. What's his status? What's the go with him, with Callum? Is he any good? I'm not sure there's a grandfather-son pick available, but... Oh, Taj, has he got advantage? Has he got it? Yes, he's on the board. Taj is on the board. Jones Racing with the call of Taj getting his first goal in the last quarter. Why are we not getting around him here? Players, come on, get around him. Jesus Christ. Taj HOTTON with his first goal after 3 attempts. Gets his first goal for the club. Well done, Taj HOTTON. Plenty more of that. I'm bitterly disappointed with the players' reaction there. I'm not going to lie. We were more excited in chat than they were on the ground. He just casually strolls through the rest of the pack to kick that, by the way. Very nonchalant. Maybe the other players stopped because of the whistle, and Taj just is like, oh, I'll take this and kick the goal. Thank you very much. Very good. Very, very good. Look, I wouldn't say Bauer's been dreadful. I think he's had an okay game. He's taken some really nice marks coming in from the side. Probably could have kicked a couple of goals that he maybe missed. Hasn't been his worst game. Others, have they performed better? Possibly. But, yeah, I wouldn't say he's disgraced himself. There's still a few ahead of him, though, to be fair. First of many, he has run it out well, RC. He has run it out well. Oh, Esma, RC, Hayes Brown, 32 hitouts now he's up to. He's our second leading, he's honestly challenging Lockie Street for most disposals. He's going to be tied disposal winner here. Oh, Taj just on his hands and knees. I'll be careful where I end that comment. Good tackle. Taj is now taking the piss too. Look at him go. Just harassing people non-stop. Oh, not the greatest inside 50 kick, but we've still got possession of it. Oh, he's kicked it. Who was that? That's an amazing goal. It's party time. Seth McDonald. Great goal. Yeah, Rational. I was saying before that seeing Sammy Lawler singing and dancing actually kind of was my most favourite part of that video. Seeing him out of his comfort zone. Maybe that is his comfort zone. I just didn't expect that from him. Yeah, I agree with you, RC. Bauer's game's been okay, just hasn't finished like we would have liked. No, that's fair enough, Hoops. No live stream. That's fair call. Fair call. How many people you got going? Taj on fire. A lot of love for Taj. Taj hasn't broken a sweat. Yeah, RC Morris is definitely doing the right things here. S-Mac, Hayes Brown or Grundy can't tell the difference. This has been... Oh, go Morris. Just burn him. Give it back to him. Give it back to him. Oh, he's having a bounce. He's number 60. Oh, good mark. Jacob Bauer. Well done. Got to finish your work here, son. So, disposal winners. Hayes Brown, 25 disposals, 1 goal, 3 marks, 2 tackles, 33 hitouts and 10 clearances. Just smashing it. Taj HOTTON, 22 disposals, 1 goal, 3 marks, 3 tackles, 2 clearances. Get Taj in. We've all seen enough. Come on, Jacob. You need to finish this for your own efforts. That's going to come back in. That's okay. Good boy. Well done. Good goal. He deserves that. He's honestly had an okay game. He's actually presented really well. And what I've liked is the marks that he's gone for. He's not tried to jump from 8 deep over. He's actually worked around to the side of the contest and jumped side and across to get into a better position to actually mark it. I think that's a pivotal change to how he's approaching the marking, which has been good. Dusty loved to party. Yeah, he did there. Yeah, they did love a bit of a disco, old Dusty. What's Bauer got? 1 goal, 5 marks. He's presented well all day, but what's he got? 1 goal, 3. Should have had at least 2 goals, 1 there, but if anyone's got the highlights of KB's grandson, can you send them to me on Twitter or tag me? I'd love to watch it. I've not seen anything of him playing. It's kind of the first. So he's eligible for draft this year. Tyler Young, great mark. Yeah, if anyone's got the highlights, feel free to send them through. That would be wonderful. Oh, Taj on the wing. I'm getting far too excited about Taj HOTTON. It's just, there's so much to like. How was McDonald's not an unrealistic attempt? Oh, that's a dirty bounce. Black Crow, welcome, mates. No need to be sorry. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully everything health-wise is going all right. But good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Hotton, is that right? A 62% game time. That's absurd. 62% game time with 24 disposals. Out of interest, can someone look up for me what game time percentage has Lachlan Street got? So Lockie Street is leading the way for us disposal-wise on 26. I want to know what his time on ground is by comparison to TAJ Hotton. Leather pants just exploded. TAJ looks great at the ground. Clearly looks the goods. Agree. CJ, he literally is everywhere. So I think a lot of people thought this quarter he might have sat it out, but he's just been on fire. Oh, we're up to 55 likes, folks. Up to 55. Can we get it to 60 or 70 likes by the time the game's out? I appreciate all the love and support. It just helps boost the algorithm, get us out into the YouTube sphere. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get across all the other Richmond content that we have. I think you can on the phone app RSL. I don't think you can on... oh, Jesus. Oh, no, that has to be 50. I think on the AFL website, you can't see time on ground, but I'm pretty sure on your phone you can. Well, I need to try it myself. Unless other people have got wizard ways on how they're doing it. That's irrational. They do. The just quietly, Kangaroos are smashing Hawthorn. Hawthorn are smashing Kangaroos. But yeah, the youngsters do seem like they're having a fun time at the club, which is important. It's important that they're enjoying their football. Who do I want? I want Lockie Street. Let me click on it. How are people finding out the time on ground? I can't see it on my phone either. Oh, Street with the sidestep. Puts it on the left. Oh, Hayes Brown's trying to get amongst it again. Good tackle. That's close to dropping the ball, I would have thought. Oh, is that the highlights and ish? I'll have to check it out after this. You reckon TAJ has just stayed in the second gear? Oh, so that's shit to hear, Black Crow. Hopefully everything works out, mate. You can find another gig that allows you to keep working in whatever capacity. But yeah, that's no good to hear. Good to see you in the chat, though, and getting amongst it, though, mate. We're always here to have a chat and hopefully get the spirits up. Keep Bow for sure. Really smart from the recruiters. And this is the thing, SHJ, is it this is why having the 8 picks last year was so vital or so clever, because we could take a risk on a TAJ Hotton and a Luke Trainer that other clubs couldn't take. Because if that's your first pick and you're not going to see him for over half the year and there's an element of risk attached, clubs are scared off and they're a bit deterred. And I really love the fact that we spoke to TAJ straight away after he hurt himself at Coates League and said, hey, no stress, we got you. You're ours. So we obviously always had tremendous faith, and this game has clearly showed why TAJ was touted as number one by a lot of people at one point in time. Callum, how are you, mate? TAJ has lit it up. I'm not even taking the piss here. He's played about 62% game time, and he's had 25 touches, 4 marks, 3 tackles, kicked 1 goal, 3. Probably should have been 2 goals, 1 at a minimum. He's had an absolute day. Oh, he could get on the end of a Joe the Goose here. Oh, no. Damn. Yeah, TAJ has been massive today. Off minimal game time. Unbelievably good. I know it seems like I'm gushing over him, and I probably am, but wow. Wow, wow. Agree, SHJ. When Lawler touches the ball, turns to goal. TAJ, I agree. Same effect, sames. I'll do my best, Skudoosh. What I don't know is if I do a highlight package, I don't know if it copyright infringes. That's my only unknown question. If it doesn't copyright infringe, wonderful, and we can do it. I'll have to try and work that out. Yeah, TAJ is pretty close to a lock, I would have thought. CJ, I'm with you. I wouldn't mind seeing Hayes Brown tried at AFL level before the year's out. Like we said earlier, there's nothing to lose, right? It's the year to do it. If he has a bit of a stinker, so be it. Who cares? Give him a taste, especially if he's already like performing well at VFL level. Is that serious, Black Crow? A job lined up with this coach scout with the AFL as a play scout? Is that legit? That's awesome. Paul, when TAJ was I won't say the word, I thought we should have taken Murphy Reid as he was playing. Look, Murphy Reid's a good player. I think he's done really, really well for Freo. And also, I think he just re-signed recently as well, didn't he? He extended his contract. But TAJ is next level. There's a reason why that dude was touted number one. He's a freak. Gush away, thank you, S-Mac. Hayes Brown, Benjamin's had a ripper game, hasn't he? To be second highest disposal winner is absurd. It definitely is exciting, Callum. I'm trying not to paint too bright of a picture and be composed about it, but it's truthfully hard not to be excited about what you see. S-Mac, that's a fair point. That was always my one biggest thing with Samson Ryan. Like, I know it wouldn't have made a difference ultimately, but I always felt bad for him. That debut game against the Saints, he should not have played. Should not have played. I appreciate that widescreen. It's the right reaction. Last VFL game TAJ plays ever. There's a good chance. And flip the footage. What do you mean? As in, so it's backwards, or the plays are all the jumpers are all inverted, the numbers. Interesting. Hayes Brown can only get a game if we have a long-term eye. If he look, I know that he's not going to be getting these type of numbers every week, Hayes Brown. I feel like this is a bit of a out of the box game. But if he gets close to replicating these games semi-frequently, I wouldn't be adverse to giving him a game later in the year just as reward for effort, if the game or the moment's right, and just to manage Nank a little bit as well. I think there's something in that too. Don't want to blow him up. Yeah, nice. That's awesome, Black Crow. Well played. Keep us in the loop with that. Let us know how you go. That's awesome. Oh, S-Mac, he was massively thrown to the wolves. It was a badly failed experiment. And you don't know how much damage that did to his confidence. We'll never know. G'day, Dave. Oh, you've missed plenty. Plenty. You've missed Hayes Brown with 26 disposals, 36 hitouts, 10 clearances, 1 goal, 1. Our second highest disposal getter. You've missed TAJ HOTTON with 25 disposals, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 3 clearances, 1 goal, 3, off about 62% game time, just lighting it up. And if he plays VFL again next week, I think we'll all be ropeable. Maybe not to Carlton supporters level, but we'll be upset. It's been a pleasant day. Grant, on Kalina, look, I think his minutes are numbered, which is really disappointing. I was really glad that we kept him on this year because last year he obviously had that persistent back injury and it really did, and I'd heard through different people that we had mismanaged him quite a bit. So I'm really glad that we kept him on this year to give him a chance and to give us a chance to see what he had to offer. He just doesn't, like, if you compare his game to Hayes Brown, I know he's not playing because he's obviously hurt his shoulder, but Kalina just struggles to rack up the disposals. He does okay with the tap work side of things, but just doesn't get enough damage or enough impact around the ground. Whereas Hayes Brown is getting possessions, he's getting clearances and hit outs. He's doing kind of the whole lot. So you would have to think that Kalina could be one that may be in a bit of trouble come end of year, unfortunately. There's the final siren. Tigers by 58 points in a comprehensive display which was an absolute joy to watch, to be honest. Absolute joy to watch. So we'll go over the final disposal winners again. Lockie Street, 29 touches. Hayes Brown was our second leading disposal getter on 26, 36 hit-outs, 10 clearances, 2 tackles, 3 marks, 1 goal. TAJ HOTTON, he's the story though. 25 touches off about 63% game time. 4 marks, 3 tackles, 3 clearances, 1 goal, 3. Should have been 2 goals, 1. Absolutely lit it up and made it look effortless. Harry Scott, 24 touches. Tuzai's 22. That's a really good game from him as well. 6 marks, 4 tackles. Tyler Young, 21 disposals, 2 goals. You heard that correctly. 2 goals for Tyler Young. 10 marks, awesome game. 1 clearance. Caleb Smith, 19 touches. Morris Jr., 19 disposals, 1 goal. 8 tackles, 4 clearances. Who else we have at AFL listed? Cozzy, 10 disposals, 6 marks. Bauer, 8 disposals, 5 marks, 1 goal, 3. Sims, 7 disposals, 1 goal, 6 marks. And that is it for the AFL listed players. But yeah, the story is definitely TAJ HOTTON and the game he put in today. Phenomenal effort. It's honestly hard to see him not playing AFL next week. You know, play 62, 63% today. That's the same percentage time that Kane McCullough's been playing at AFL level for some games. I don't understand why we can't do the same thing and just get him at the high level. You've seen enough. The fitness is well and truly okay, and worst case you just manage his minutes, like I said. But we've got to get him in, I think. Yeah, Young's kicking of a goal is pretty good. Hayes Brown is definitely the GOAT today, Benjamin. That was some type of game. He will be feeling extraordinarily good about himself after that outing. That was very impressive. He made a mockery of the other ruckman, is the easiest way to say it. No worries, Scuff. I'm going to have to dip, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got the Hawthorn game on. Like I said, wife's out there trying to watch her Hawks play, and the boys might be running riots in the lounge room potentially, so I'll go and save her from that madness. But I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching along. Make sure you like and subscribe. Helps us with the algorithm. Appreciate love and support. And we'll be back tomorrow. There won't be a live show for the game, but I might do a fan cam tomorrow night as well in place of. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night, but we'll look to do another live. And then Monday night, we've got our normal live show. We'll have a final thoughts video for tomorrow's game coming out today or tonight. And yeah, there's plenty of other stuff happening too. So have a wonderful rest of the day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and your love and support. Always good to talk footy with you all. And we saw an absolute treat today with TAJ HOTTON and Hayes Brown putting on an absolute clinic today. And I think we will see TAJ HOTTON playing AFL next week. So with that being said and done, have a wonderful day. And until Sunday, go Tigers.